With your boy.
Yo, it's your boy King Marco in the building.
Hey, be in the house tonight. We have a special guest with us again tonight. I want you to introduce yourself, young lady.
I am Pone What the Fuck Barbecue. Hello.
Hello.
Yo, what's
And
going on? Well, what's up,
Nothing
guy?
much.
nothing. Busy week. Huh? A lot of stuff happening in the community. But tonight though, I think we should get into right away, probably get into Pound's DD on her GME. She has been working on this DD for GME and she's come up with some new stuff. So are you ready to show it off, Pound?
I don't even know where to start. Like shit. Like I don't even know.
So
It's like
why don't you start with like what was your research what was the research you started? What initially started you on this research recently that you just got into?
so effectively what happened was I noticed a repeating trend in regards to the basically I was the one that I was able to identify cycles within the GameStop share price. First of all, I thought it was something that was like um hold on, let me start over. It's like it's too much. So hold on, let me draw this out because like I'm so like yay for the drawing.
Yes, the whiteboard. The first
Yes,
the debut of the whiteboard here on the 10%. We're
yes.
excited for this.
So what happened back in like May, actually June time, I was what basically was able to I noticed these cyclical patterns that were occurring like this. And within it, actually, also, I noticed that within the candlestick measurements as well, they were repeating almost to like the day within the previous cycle as well. I need water or something. Shit. So what happened was so I saw this observation and I wanted to figure out whether or not it was actually something there or something that like it was just me just going crazy. So my first analysis basically was proving how this cycle from like this is March and it's like February or something like shit like that, January, I don't know. And then all the way to June. So effectively, I wanted to prove that the time frame or the cycles or share price that was occurring between like March to June were the same as like in June afterwards. And so I did a bunch of statistical analysis cross comparing the two, and within it, it showed that there was a large amount of correlation that was occurring between them. So that's how that's. Oh no. Ah!
Oh, you're losing it. You're losing it.
No, that's how that started. And so after identifying how there are these curve or these movements within the share price themselves were pretty much identical or correlated to one another, people were saying, "Oh yeah, well you don't need this is not enough evidence for me to fucking believe shit is going down." And I was like, "All right, okay, that makes a lot of fucking sense." And so I decided to go back in history to figure out how if this thing was just a one-time type deal or if actually it's been something that's occurring all like for a long time. And so basically after that, I went into the like the pre that's like pre 20 that's 2021 time frame in order to look at to figure out whether or not these type of cycles were occurring prior to 2020 prior to 2021. And when I actually looked at that, it had that type of shape overall. And by looking at actually the previous data, it showed exactly the same type of cycles as we are seeing now. However, they were inverse to like the
To push the
2020
price
data.
down, right?
Yeah. What do you mean? So no, I mean like and so in 2021 we see the concave up, and so we have the sideways trading, and then we have our short squeezes here.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to 2020, 2021, it was like this. And so
Yeah.
it
So,
had
but
minimums and like
the goal of the algorithm was to push the price down to zero, so it was going the opposite
yes,
direction of what it is now, is what you're saying, right? Basically.
that's exactly what's happening. And so right now my current analysis is figure out what the fuck happened from basically 2019 to 21 that caused us to even get here. But so that's what I'm working on right now. But Shoot, I can't like it's just too much. I don't even know where to go out.
Okay,
But,
so one of the things brought up, did you compare it to other short squeezes? Like somebody had brought up Volkswagen in a space call we had done. Did you compare it to short squeeze in the past, or did you just track the pattern from GME back and that was and it just to track the correlation, I guess?
So that it's not comparable in regards to Volkswagen. The reason behind that is there are probably different kind of algorithms that were controlling one or the other. And so I have not looked back in Volkswagen itself because there are too many different variables for me to like be like, oh yeah, this is the shit. But so what I've been doing actually is cross comparing like this kind of shape along with everything else that Citadel and Melvin like shorted the shit out of. And it looks pretty fucking like that, to the extent that you can even identify exactly when a squeeze is going to happen. And I've been wondering about whether or not to publish that as well. It's like they all show like,
yeah,
oh,
it's tough. It's tough to give out dates though, because if it doesn't work out, then a lot of people will be mad. Or it's that I understand. No, because it's just I understand the not wanting to put out dates thing. It's a tough call, because if you're wrong, a lot of people will be angry. But if you're right, a lot of people will be happy. You know what I mean? So, But
I mean, it's like fuck it. In regards, the reason as to why I pushed out dates is one of them. I got really fucking annoyed by everyone stealing my shit. That's been happening like since day one.
We can talk about that some too. Yeah, we can talk about it. We'll get into that.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And then but so yeah, I originally used to be against all dates, but until I finally realized that no matter what happened, nothing's been affecting the share price, and so therefore I'm just like fuck it.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Nothing's affecting it, so like fuck it. I'm gonna like basically.
So you're saying. The only thing that really affects it, though, if something does affect it, it's the buy and hold, right? The holding is what is affecting that the price stay at a certain level. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if the holding wasn't going on, that price would drop down a lot further. Is that correct?
Yes. The buy and hold is the reason as to why we see this sideways trading. That's occurring where it's like this. I mean, yeah, we see the sideways trading prior to from prior to 2021. If there was a downward slope. I don't know, actually going about 3 cents a day, but or whatever, dollars a day. But that was during a time period where no one was buying and holding. But since we're buying and holding right now, it affects the rate of change that's occurring, but it does not affect the dates when these fucking like things started like doing all these mini squeezes, quote unquote. But that's what I come for so far. I'm still working on proving that, but just from observational data or just observing shit, that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. So basically and so you were saying something like this algorithm is specific to GME, right? It's so for every stock that's shorted, the algorithm may be different. Is that correct? Is that what I'm kind of getting out of what you're saying?
No, it's the same. Like there's multiple different like short ladder or shorting algorithms are occurring at once. I mean, each hedge fund uses their own different ones, and I mean, so therefore, I've been only looking at the ones that are like heavily shorted by one specific hedge fund, or like that's why I've been by Citadel and Melvin, because they all portray the same exact characteristics. And I'm working on actually the DD or math. So I've been working on the DD or math to actually prove that next. After I want to finish basically all the small things about the GameStop share price, and then I was going to move on how to. Basically, one of them was to show that the more heavily shorted a ticker is, the more like it displays the innate behaviors of the like any shorting algorithm. And then on top of it, and theoretically speaking, if I do it right, I could possibly be able to estimate what the short interest is as well. Yep. So that's going on.
Sounds like you're gonna have a fun holiday weekend.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think so. Actually, I like doing this shit. This is what I do in my free time, man.
No, I could tell the way you get excited talking about it. Marco Ticket, you guys got any questions about what she's saying?
Not really. Not on that. So how long do you think this thing is gonna take for it to reach its fruition based on the analysis that you've given with this?
Wait, can you say that again?
I said, how long do you think this thing is gonna take? Like as far as like what stage are we at with this?
So it's been happening repetitively. So the one reason as to why I believe MOAS is going to happen in January is because each one of these mini squeezes occur during once a quarter. However, there are two of them that happen in Q1. So one in March and one in January. So within the January one, it's just like it makes no fucking sense as to why it would happen, because all these like squeezes happen towards the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Like, and so there is basically there's like so much I don't even know how to like put it together. But in regards to January, the reason as to why I think that is going to happen, one of them is like, so the there used to be a cash dividend that was handed out to GameStop from 2015 to 2019. And the thing about cash dividends in regards to a specific stock is basically, long story short, people who do naked shorts on a ticker that has a dividend can produce a lot of tax fraud. Long story short, and so January, I think, has happened as a result of crime, tax fraud, and a previous dividend that actually is no longer in play right now. Like,
So do you think
I don't know how.
you think this is gonna happen for all the main stocks or just GME? You think?
I probably, I don't really know. I know it. I mean, if they follow because when you see the meme stock, because there's it's not just AMC and GME. There's all the meme stocks that began back in the day, was like BlackBerry, Bed Bath Beyond, Nokia, and all of that. And so I can't really say, because I haven't done any further analysis into that across comparing one, because I want to just focus on one and get that one smacked down 100% sure before I use the same methodology and across everything else.
Because can you even compare? Can you even say that GME is a meme stock anymore? Because at the rate it's going, GameStop been going crazy. Damn thing gained $50 in 3 trading days. And while the other ones aren't even moving like that. So
well, I think there's also just some sort of weird shift that occurred between 2019 and 2020, because so my theory behind there's a couple of different theories I have for the 741. One of them is basically how in 2019 and 2020 some shit happened that fucked up all the shit, like the old algos and all that shit that caused it to have a shift. So the shit shift. So July is now acting as it's April, and January is still acting as January. So 741. That was my 2 cents. Can we send you a new cam? Sure. That's weird.
Hey,
why not?
Your camera ain't crisp.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really cam or anything that, so this is the only time.
You're not a professional broadcaster. It's not like you're doing this all the time. You come on here with us, but you're not normally on YouTube. You're normally on Twitter for stuff, right? So you're not.
There's no. I don't I don't.
What's that, Ticket? We can't hear you.
Maybe if you got some more lights, some better lighting. I think only thing she needed some more lights, really, to be honest.
I mean,
if she points some lights in that board, it'll make the camera look better. It's all about the lighting a lot of times, to be honest.
For sure.
I think if she has some more lights pointed at that, that'll look more clear.
I just
look a little better now.
Yeah, probably.
She just needs some better lighting. That's all.
Yeah, get a selfie.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead, do your thing. Go ahead.
I don't even know. It's I don't even know, because it's just so I should say I have troubles thinking linearly or explaining myself in a linear fashion. Or just describe myself. Words are hard, I should say, and I have troubles describing the shit that I try to explain in a way that makes sense, because as soon as I think of one thing, 5 different things come up at the same time. But that's why. I mean, I want to see if anyone has any specific questions.
Yeah, if anybody's got in the chat, got questions for now, is probably the time.
Send me you can send just send me some generic. Oh no, maybe just buy a webcam from GameStop or shit like that.
I mean,
or if y'all want to jump on and ask her something.
We can.
Y'all can jump on and ask her if y'all got a question, or put it in the chat. Either way.
Well, the one guy asked, "What's the?" He wanted to talk about the expected price action for tomorrow.
I mean, so it's always difficult to say what the share price what the share price is. That's why I only give dates. I believe the share price is a result of basically a bunch of other historical data that's occurring. So that's one thing I'm in the, basically that's what I'm in the process of analyzing right now, is to figure out, or that's all, I should rephrase that, is to prove how all the share price that we see has been basically determined by previous historical data. And so I produced, okay, here's, I know what. So in, like the DD that I produced, it was basically sort of showing that volume has no effect on the open and close values, but it does, however, have effect on the highs and lows. So there's this correlation table. So it's like, what was it? Oh my God. That was relating to volume versus highs and lows or something like that, low deltas. And there was a correlation table that happened. It was just like, oh yeah, it was pretty solid. Like the R squared was equal to like 0.9. So the higher, an R squared basically is a variable that tells you how well your model works. And so it goes from 0 to 1, and basically having an R squared value of 0.82 or 0.9, which I was able to achieve, effectively says, yeah, your fucking shit is capable of modeling 80 to 90% of the shit. Anyways, so while like volume is affecting like the high-low like delta, however, I decided to go even a deeper dive. It's like, okay, well, it's affecting the share price. How about, is there anything that could be affecting the overall dates? That's why I continued on with using a moving average. So the moving average is a very common technique used in like any form of system analysis, where if you have a bunch of volatility and you don't know what the fuck, it's just too much noise basically that's going on. So you use a moving average that theoretically it's going to smooth the shit out, so you have a better understanding what the fuck's going on. So that's what. So there is one I showed like that. So it basically was identifying, okay, these are the peaks right here, and then like, okay, here's a dip, here's another peak, and then here's an inflection point or whatever. So after not only proving, hey, the dates between this guy and this guy is the same as the like dates between this one. So it shows that the overall share price were occurring not only at the same time, like the same amount, but also the same time. But in regards to share price itself, there exists a limit between like the high and low values. So although volume may control the highs and lows of the value themselves, it still is constrained. So it's a difference between like it's completely controlled and it's just constrained between a max and minimum. So I hope I'm explaining myself well. Like if anyone has questions, like it's totally okay.
I have a question. So now GME has maintained a price between like $200 and $400 for most of the year, right? Yeah. So with the way the algorithm is flipped, is it once a year that it's going to take these big leaps, like huge leaps? Like, so GME started out, what did it start out before we got up to like $400? It was like $40, $20, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So is it once it slowly stair steps through the year and kind of slowly brings its average up, but then once a year it's going to take a huge jump up? Is that kind of what is happening with the algorithm, you think?
So this is the shit that I've been working on right now. So previously, prior to like 2019 and such like that, we have this concave down type movement. All right, and so these concave type down movements have like a max min or whatever, and the time frame or whatever. It's like the shit like that. So with the concave down, it was everything was predefined. But then all of a sudden, because both DFE and Melvin don't have an exit strategy, it was hitting these absolute lows right here. So basically like $2 and change, whatever. And so what happened is like this continuation of like the pattern kept on going down, but they didn't have an exit. They didn't have a fucking exit strategy. They had no idea. It was like, okay, well, all of our if then characteristics or equations were kind of happened to 404. So basically what happened, my assumption is that in 2019/2020, since you can't go below a share price of 0, we can't have a negative share price, and this movement was so linear and consistent, but it freaked out once it hit like a set minimum value. And so once it had like a minor freak out, figured shit out, what happened is that it's completely switched to go parabolic. So this is actually one of the reasons as to why one of the reasons as to why I think that the share price can go to infinity, not only by the amount of short interest that's occurring, but also because it's when the compound downs have limits, they can't go below $0 share price. However, this one does not, and that value, I'm still working through that. There's nothing going to constrain it while going upwards. I hope
No, I'm getting what you're saying. Let's we had some questions in the chat I wanted to ask too, because I'm trying to keep up, and I have a lot of questions too a lot of the time. So and I'm sure Marco and Ticket does, but
ask that question that's pinned on that screen.
That's
right
what
here.
that's what I'm getting to. College Scrub says, have you read Girk's DD from this week that also outlines the date you pointed out, different methods reaching the same dates? Have you seen his DD at all?
No, I don't. All of his DDs are YouTube videos, and I don't really read other people's DD.
Okay.
That requires a lot of attention, and I don't have that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some more. Eric Mings ask, is it better to buy and hold or better to scalp for profit and buy more shares on the dips?
It's better to buy and hold. The reason as to why buy and hold was first implemented is one is that we originally was thought that if you sell the things, you're helping out the hedge funds, but also the reason as to why buy and hold is way better versus any type of bullshit is that there is a chance that if you were to sell the very next day, it would be MOAS. Since MOAS is, we don't know when the date is, and so that's why I'm all about the buy and hold life, because I'd rather like save I guess I'd rather risk, or excuse me, it's better for me to like not even risk something for like a few extra dollars when I would have 100% certainty that I am going to own shares during the time frame when it happened. And so that's one reason as to why I don't fuck with like basically day trading or stuff like that, because they've got your T+2 and you just don't know when MOAS is going to happen. And so buy and hold is like the safest bet.
Yeah, I agree.
Because shorts can cover at any time. We never know on that. What's going to trigger the MOAS is the short them getting margin called basically has to trigger the MOAS, right? I mean, that's basically what has to happen for this to really go. Otherwise, it's going to be a stair step forever, infinity, until we reach a certain, it's inevitable if everybody buys and holds. It's more inevitable, more quicker, the more people that buy and hold, because then when the shorts do cover, they can't get out as quick. Is that kind of what?
What MOAS, like a lot of people keep on asking me, like, how would you define MOAS? Like, the way I would do, like, first of all, so within MOAS, you'll know when it's happening, because I'll see this like really stupid high, like acceleration or these high jumps. Like, it's not like what we've seen in the past where it's like really smooth and really like slow and whatsoever. So with MOAS itself, it's going to like, you'll know.
So it's going to be similar to the way Fun and DWAC started out, where they went up like 1,000% in a day, right? Is that kind of but it's going to be even higher than that, right? That's kind of what we're looking for.
I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at this other ticker, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just using for like, so people have some comparison, because there's no real comparison to this out there really right now. So that's what I mean. Just looking for, if there's something you've never seen before, it's going to be more than that. I would think that's what if that's the way it's going to happen. Go ahead.
For sure. So the reason as to why it's called like, if people feel like, oh, the share price is going to go up this or blah blah blah, or like, oh, it's going to hit like $1 gazillion, or it's only going to hit 420. So first of all, no one fucking knows what the share price is going to be. So anyone who actually says, like, I know what the share price is going to be, is talking out their fucking ass.
Yeah.
The reason behind that is because it's a black swan event. So there's like so many different variables that have not been like seen even just by themselves. stats, and then what you just combine all of them. Like one of them is like, oh, every motherfucker is buying and holding. Like that's never happened before. Like what's actually going to happen? Another one is like, oh, the short interest was over 200% back in January. Like that's never fucking happened. So that's two variables that's never been seen before. And then like you just keep on adding all these other ones. I mean, there's also like all this math shit that I could go into, but whatever. But
Well,
I mean,
and the fact that everybody has a different number to get out. So when some people sell, it's going to have an effect on the price eventually. You know what I mean? At a certain point, you would think. So everybody has a different strategy when to get out. That's why I think it's not going to crash as hard, because there's going to be a cushion of people getting out at different times when the crash does come, because it's going to go up and then it's going to go back down again, right? Like that's kind of what I believe would have to happen, right? Like people are going to sell if this gets up to a huge amount of dollars. Like people are saying, people are going to sell. They'd be insane not to sell at some point. You can't hold it forever and then be on the other side. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
am I making sense to that?
No, you're totally making sense. And so there's like one of them is like, okay, depending on what the short interest is, or like the number of fucking fake shares there are, like someone who has like 1,000, 110, 100, 1,000, is that really going to actually affect the overall share price? But so I've been trying to figure out, or just like model, or just figure out exactly what the share price behavior is going to happen with MOAS. And so one of them, it is naive to assume that any short algorithm is going to magically stop when MOAS happens. And so like people are like, oh, it's going to just like accelerate really badly. It was like, no, just because like that's happening there does not mean that the computers that are designed to like short it they're still going to be fucking in play.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to figure out how to like incorporate that. But I mean, there's so like I guess like no one knows jack shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts and it's very complex, and a lot of different factors play into it. And like a lot of things have to fall in the right place for this to happen too, and a lot of things have to fall out of place for it not to happen. Is kind of where we're at, right? It's like a 50-50 as if we don't screw this up, you know. Like that's I can't pronounce this guy's name. The cat, he's been in our chat before. Gaydelkin said so. G. Sorry, G. So is there a potential for a squeeze in January 2022 from what I heard, he's asked?
Oh yeah, that's when I think that MOAS is gonna like MOAS is or yes, that's actually the date that I predicted.
Yes.
Solely because of other shit.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you sent me what you predicted in message, but I never put it out or anything. But yeah, I think you're kind of right on too, because it makes sense. Because it's kind of around the time it happened last year, right? I mean, like that's when the initial big jump took off for this. It was really last year in January, right? Or earlier this year in January. So
it was January, and so January is kind of like a weird fuck year. I mean, that's it has to a lot of it just do with taxes, and also a previously given out dividend, but a lot of it's fucking taxes and committing tax fraud. And so a part of me thinks about, hey, they're trying to get rid of. So when you have a dividend, if I recall correctly, is that you pay the taxes at the beginning of the year. However, if you short a stock with a dividend, you pay it at the end of the year. So there's a potential where like basically you naked shorts who don't own the dividend or the actual stock itself can commit tax fraud, because they're like, oh well, we don't actually own anything, but we're able to like say that we have all this dividend shares, so we can do it as a tax write-off or something like that.
yeah, so basically their anti-fraud computer is the one that's kind of fucking them right now, right? Another question is Annie Matter Particle asks, how do the anomalies such as RC increasing his stake in GME line up with the date cycles in your model?
And so basically, I mean, there's been previous analysis that show that RC's tweets don't really show any effect whatsoever on the share price. I mean, there have been so many events in the last few months that supposedly were supposed to like cause such a drastic influence or change within the share price itself. I mean, for example, there was the shareholders meeting, there was the earnings report, there was a double or triple witching day, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. There was all the implementations of the SEC. There were so many different events that were supposed to affect it that have not. So, I mean, even if you look at historical data with the RC tweets, there is no correlation whatsoever. So actually that all leads me to believe that like the short interest is stupid fucking high because nothing can affect it, or even when like other variables are combined, it still doesn't affect it whatsoever. And so, I mean, no, it's going to eat itself, and that's one reason is it called the Ouroboros, is because nothing will destroy it but itself.
All right. Brandon Dale has a question that's going to bring some heat on you. Probably. Do you think that AMC is a hedge against GME?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, because like I still don't understand the concept whatsoever. I mean, I just began investing in January, so I mean,
Okay.
I just understand numbers. So I don't know how to respond to that because I'm still trying to figure out financial shit.
All right. Marco, have you got anything for questions more? Ticket? I think I've got through all the chat questions.
I don't have no questions right now.
I don't have no questions on this one, on this right here.
Okay. You want to get into some other stuff? Or is there anything else you want to present, or are we all pretty much through your?
I mean, I don't know. I just like because there's just so much, and I really, I hate public speaking, and I'm socially awkward. Like fucking.
Oh, you're doing fine, bro. You're doing fine. Don't sweat that shit. Don't sweat that shit.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You know, like it's just like we're kind of like, I mean, especially with Ticket and Marco, they really make it comfortable for us to just kind of have a conversation. So it's not, we're not on a big stage here or nothing. We're just talking about your DD, and we'll talk about some other shit. We could talk about what's going on in the communities and stuff if you want a little bit, or you can get into more DD. Whatever you guys want to do is up to you.
Hey, you got somebody that said they think they love you. Hey, look, Andy said he think he love you.
Oh, that's so fresh.
So,
all right, you want to bring us all back in, Ticket? So, unless you got more to show us on the whiteboard, Pawn.
No, I'm pretty good.
All right.
I mean,
all right, cool.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like I'm taking. What is it? I feel like I'm appropriating your show. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
No, you're fine. Like, I didn't really know where to go with this because there's just like a lot of various different maps and backgrounds that I use, and so I don't even know where to start.
Well, who's that with the echo?
I think it's Ticket on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot. Have you guys been paying attention to what's been going on with the Mark Coheeds and all that stuff this week again, or no?
No, tell me about it. What's going on with that?
Well, I don't really.
I saw some
First
stuff
of all,
on there.
Kid, if you're in the chat, Kid, you are the fucking man. You are my fucking hero. I fucking love you, Kid, man. Kid's been out there putting in work, you guys. I don't know if you know this. Kid's big time now. He's too big for the show now. He's big time.
He done boomed up like that, huh?
He done boomed up. Yeah, he's out there taking out shills one after another.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So the thing about Mark Cohodes is that so Mark Cohodes was pushing this T0 NFT, and there's this whole conspiracy. Actually, I don't think it's a conspiracy whatsoever. Something that's shown to light is that by him continuously trying to associate the T0 with AMC, he was trying to get more like basically more attention to his fucking NFT. Like, anyways, so he did this by one and just pushing it like a motherfucker, and then the other one is like hire a bunch of shills that legit like were paid to like just pump this shit like a motherfucker. And so Mark Cohodes like hired all these. I didn't even think shills were a thing. I was like, I had a moment where I'm just like, fuck, they actually exist, but like, so one by one, people have been I've been called out for being a bunch of bullshit, and because it's easy to catch a lie, but
basically another grifter came in and tried to cash in on the movement and got called out by it again, and people are just fucking sick of this shit, that's basically, and it goes for all of them, and whether it's Astro, whether it's Trey, whether it's Matt, whether it's Tara, whether it's whoever is out there making money off the movement, people are sick of that shit. And you've been saying this since the beginning. You guys have been saying, you didn't like how they're making money off this movement, because it wasn't supposed to be about cashing in on, it's not that, a lot of people try to come up with you're jealous, you hate their success and blah, blah, blah. No. That's not it. That's not it, guys. It's the fact that this wasn't supposed to be about that. this was supposed to be about the haves versus the have-nots, right? That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The haves versus the have-nots.
Correct.
And it makes me fucking sick to even be associated with a lot of these people at this point. By whether you're an ape or just a retail trader, you're associated with them by their actions. You know what I mean? Because they are representing the retail trader as a whole right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So it makes me fucking sick. And it's true. I know you shrug your shoulder, but it's true. Who are the ones getting invited on Fox News and CNBC and MSNBC representing retail traders? They call themselves apes, but that's a code word for people to now just smash on retail traders, smash on the small time again. That's all it is, you know, on the other side. I feel like on our side, it's not so much. On the other side, I feel like it's like kind of just a way for when Jim Cramer goes on and goes to apes. He's not talking about just people in AMC and shit. He's talking about all of us. You know what I mean? Like all of us.
That's true. I
So
agree with that. Yeah.
The thing that makes me now, it's just become, they've corrupted the movement because now it's just become just like everything else. It's let's cheer this rich person on, or let's cheer this rich person on, and fuck everybody below us. You know, that's kind of what it's turned into. And it's become this drama shit, and it makes me fucking sick to even be associated with a lot of this shit, to be honest. Like, it's just I'm sorry, it just does. I don't like the stock market to begin with. I said this at the beginning. This was a chance for us to actually we have them by the nuts, guys, and we're fucking it up with all this drama shit and fucking it up with all these people cashing in off the moment, I feel. Anyways, but you guys go ahead.
This is a question. Did she answer this question right here?
Which one is it?
Yes, she did on that one. I think there was another one I saw.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did all that.
Yeah. One we saw. What are the correlations whenever the underlying price ends with 0 zeros? Do you know about that with GME?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, I use that specifically to actually identify when systemic manipulation occurred. And so that's why I pumped out this graph that basically had a time value. So this is like day or some shit like that. And then some like 0.00, 0.25, 0.5, and then 0.75. And it had a bunch of dots that basically were indicating when basically open, high, low, close was performing was actually on that date. And looking at the data is there was a high amount in 2021 that occurred, a bunch of dots here, and there was a higher amount that also occurred in like 2023, 2002 and 2003. So basically, here's the thing about probability. So if you have, we've got 0.00 and then 0.025, 0.75, and then, oh yeah, I forgot 0.5 right there. So that's 4 different values. And so the dollar goes from like 0.00 to 0.99, so that's 100 right there. And so to have a value that ends in 0, 0.25, or 5, 0.5 or 7.5, that is, there are 4 values out of 100 that are, it's like I'm just getting really a lot of background.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're getting some echo.
And so there are 4 out of 100 potential, that's the 4 out of 100 probability of having a share price ending in one of these multiples. And so that's like fucking nothing. I mean, that's 1 out of 25. And so to have something that's 1 out of 25 for like a continuous amount of time, or let me try. So basically, this is like for one of these values to pop up is a 4 out of 100. So that's day 1. And then day 2 does the same thing too. So that actually is multiplied by another 4 out of 100. And then maybe day 3 pops up, okay? And then you multiply that by another 4 by 100. And so when you see a bunch of values that have a 0.00, that would mean it is extremely improbable for that to occur in an organic or natural environment, and it would be highly indicative that there's a large amount of manipulation. Because it's like what's the probability of this times that, and then just keep on. It becomes like just grows exponentially. And so that's so when you see the value,
basically what you're saying is hitting the 4 out of 100 more times than it should. Is kind of what is that?
Yeah.
So it's not really 4 out of 100. It's more like 25 out of 100 or 50 out of 100. And when it's
4 out of 100 times whatever amount of trading days. And so there's about 252 trading days in a year. So I mean, if you hit it every single day, it's 4 out of 100 to the power of 252, and that's a lot of zeros.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying.
Okay.
So that's multiplied by every day. Okay, I got it. I think that, you guys understand that a little bit, or
Kind of. I'm probably gonna watch this over again to
I know.
No,
get it
so,
all the
so
way.
basically, you have like day one, if you have a 4 out of 100. We'll just say this is open, whatever. And then okay, what's the chance of that happening twice? So that's going to be times it by itself. What's the chance of it happening 3 times? It's multiplied by itself. And so you basically, it's like, okay, if it has like, this happens like 50 times, what's the chance of that happening? So that's 4 over 100 like times itself, but power to 50. So if you have any given dates where, oh yeah, this happened 50 times out of an X amount of time period. So that's like probability of that occurring is 4 out of 100 to the power of 50.
Okay.
I got you.
And the 50 is like the days, what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's just a random number you throw up. It's like if it's going on for 250 days, it's 4 to the 100 times 250 days. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I got you.
It's for every occurrence.
All right.
Cool. That sounds good.
That's why it keeps stair stepping up too, right? Like that has to, or I guess. So I guess I'm trying to come up with a good question here and trying to think of how to frame it. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
You got a fan club, Paul. Look
Yeah,
at
a big time fan club.
Your milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. Hey.
There you go. Brandon Dale asked you, are you invested in any other stocks right now?
As I said earlier, I'm invested only in one other one, mainly because I see a potential squeeze for that one, but it's not very much. It's just I just threw in there because
some short term money.
Yeah, actually, I mean, because I basically wanted to test out my DD in a way, and so I just threw some money. Yeah.
Nostradamus says it's time to sell your bathwater.
Time to sell my bathwater.
I forgot about that.
How can you forget about the fucking bathwater?
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. I see you got me all nerding out on your DD, and I forgot all about your bathwater. We're gonna put that on sale.
Yeah, I was trying to figure this out. Like, how would you even go about this? Like, I was been thinking about this hard.
Marco, you missed out last time. We found out Pawn's secret fantasy is to sell her bathwater to somebody.
John said you beauty brings the whole package. 100. That's right. Hey, they feeling you.
You got fans all over the world.
You gotta fucking put that on eBay. We'll put it as we said. We'll just throw everything to charity.
Yeah, there we go.
That'd be fucking just to be like, oh, I sold my bathwater for charity. That'd be a fucking hilarious sentence.
Hey, that might bring in some big money for that. You never know.
I know.
They got a lot of followers and a lot of fans.
It'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Mark asked, have you considered applying your DD on SPY?
No, I have not. Because I mean, there are a lot of different variables or factors that could affect any ticker or such like that, and so I wanted to definitively understand one before I went into and shit like that.
Most of your eggs in one basket with GME, so you're not going to waste time looking at something that you're not invested in, right? Like that's kind of, and I don't blame you for that. If you're really about this, which you are, and want to find out as much about what's going on with it, you obviously are doing that. You know what I mean? Like I wish I was as smart as you to break down some of this shit. But I enjoy that you were able to do it, and hopefully I can learn some, and we can all learn some, and I'm sure your work will apply to other stocks in the future. You know what I mean? Like I don't think this is just one. I think the algorithms are similar but different on all these, depending on how many shares are out there and all that. There's a lot of numbers that go into figuring out the particular algorithm for each stock, but they're all designed to make these go to zero in the end. And if you flip them, they'll all stair step back the other way. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the way I see it. So
Eddie got a question right there.
Do you see around December 21st as another run-up cycle period?
No.
Is there another run-up cycle coming soon? Because November, no, there's no, so it won't be till January. There's not another run-up. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think anything's going to happen until January.
Eddie Q asks, is strong or as new now or stronger? I don't know what he's referring to with that. I don't know.
Stronger now or stronger? So you basically saying is it going to be stronger the next time than the one before? I'm thinking. Is that what you said, Eddie? Rephrase that, bro.
Yeah, I don't really understand what you're asking there, Eddie. Sorry.
Yeah, rephrase that, bro.
Yeah. But you've been staying out of the drama for the most part this last week, really, right? I mean, you haven't really got.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, you were getting into the drama and stuff, but it's just kind of become people are exposing themselves for the most part right now, right?
I mean, well, yeah, I basically called up everybody out, and slowly but surely, just like caught on. I mean, I called out everybody, so that's fun.
Oh, we got Scott joining us.
What up, though, Scott?
What up,
Scott was in a space call with us a couple days ago too, I think.
I see you been in the chat pumping your little company up. So what you got going on, cuz?
Scott was in a space call with us a couple days ago too, I think.
What's happening, folks?
Something playing. You must got the show playing in the background or something. I'm hearing like a. You got to mute what you got playing in the background because like we're hearing it in the background.
Yeah, I just muted that. How you doing, Pawn?
I'm doing pretty well, living the dream.
Yeah, I've just been sitting here watching you guys listening to all the DD there. And I've been on this subject now for what, 10 months. And right now for both stocks, it's pretty much cut and dry. GME, AMC, all the meme stocks are kind of at a stalemate. And, a lot of folks are down with this buy and hold. Well, the buy and hold only works to a certain extent whenever you're in a short squeeze. I mean, I'm not cutting anybody down. I've been investing for 25 years. The art of a squeeze is the art of a squeeze. And right now we're not squeezing shit. We need new money. I've been cheerleading this for the last several months.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that.
In order to force these short sellers to cover all of their short positions back in February, March, and April, forget about June. We need new money hitting the lit market in some pretty good volume because all they're doing is they're using their high frequency trading and small daily short positions to keep us at this $40 mark. If we teeter over into 50 to 52, then it's going to put extreme pressure on them, and you may see some shorts cover. But until then, it's nothing more than kick the can down the road. I have exclusive programs that follow, and you could see the high frequency trading in live time during the trading. I post these charts every day. Me and a couple of retired quants have been working on a short squeeze indicator, and I've been testing it now for the last 2 months. And I post the charts.
You said you've been posting it on Twitter. Hey, tell them your Twitter so everybody will know.
It is, what the hell is my Twitter? You know what? I never even look at it. Let me check it real quick. I think it's what the hell is it? Let me see. It's my first name. What the hell is my Twitter? Let me just get on here. I never even look at it.
And spell it out for everybody so they'll have it.
Yeah, it's Stonk, STONK _trader, and then the number 1.
So I guess, if we want the short squeeze to happen faster, yes, we do need more money. But when you say kicking the can down the road, buying and holding eventually will work to some degree because they're losing money every month that they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Correct? You know what I mean? So you could say we need new money, and look, I want this to happen quickly too. Trust me, I need it a lot more than a lot of you guys do right now, as far as personally. But I understand the rush on it. But in the same token, a lot of people, and I think this holds true, if the algorithm is reversed, eventually this will happen because they're going to run out of money at some point, whether that be a year. That's why I think the narrative of the Tesla kind of squeeze is out there now. Even though that's not what we're looking for, I think a lot of people want the quick money. So do you think But so you're saying we just need more buying pressure to make it happen faster?
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
instance, I mean, if you really just get down to brass tacks and you look at the art of a short squeeze, the smaller hedge funds that are shorting AMC, they'll be the first to drop. However, you have the market makers, and number one, Citadel, and everybody forgets about Citadel Connect, which is a big problem. Everything that goes on in Citadel Connect, which is Citadel's dark pool, which is not regulated at all. So everything that goes on in Citadel Connect, nobody knows about. And I'm also able to see all of these large block trades. And there haven't been that many block trades reported in both of these stocks. However, you do have some of these institutions all of a sudden jumping on the bandwagon. So that's kind of an indicator that, yeah, something is going to happen sooner or later. But if we want to force it, like I've been cheerleading to all of these people on Twitter that just pay no fucking attention, you need to really like get out there and cheerlead for this stock with friends, family members, co-workers. I've brought in over 130 people into this stock since June, and teaching them how to purchase the stock on the lit market. So just say, for instance, if all of a sudden, we had several thousand people that came in and started buying the shares on the lit market, believe it or not, that little bit of pressure is going to alert the high frequency trading algorithms. They all follow each other. They're programmed that way. So that would cause the high frequency trading algorithms to start buying the stock instantly. And there you go. You're going to start to increase the buying pressure, and then paranoia sets in. All of these fuckers on Wall Street live in paranoia. That's a fact. It's been like that since the beginning of time. And then that would cause some of these smaller hedge funds that do have short positions, they'd say, oh shit, we better cover. Well, whenever they cover on the lit market, what does that do? That increases the algorithm on the high frequency trading, and that starts to go up. So all of these algorithms, whether they're from hedge fund A, B, C, D, E, they are all programmed to follow each other. When the stock starts going down, the high frequency trading algorithms start selling. It's as simple as that. I've been studying these algorithms and high frequency trading for like almost 9 years now.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Evergrande defaulted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And went bankrupt. And we were sold on a little while. There was a lot of talk about this is good for AMC, but then nothing really happened out of that. So
just a false pretenser.
that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a lot of hype. It really had nothing to do with these meme stocks at all.
Because that was in the Chinese market, right? I mean, that's more than.
Well, there's a lot of U.S. companies that are kind of twisted and tied and intertwined with the Chinese. That's a guarantee. But the problem is we don't have any control over these stocks. The buy and hold was good to an extent, but there's still over 100 million shares out there that we don't own. Mm-hmm. And all of the institutions have sucked them up, and they're probably putting them out there for short sellers to borrow. But the short selling has dwindled. I just posted a chart on Sunday showing the new indicator that we've been developing. It's been showing the short positions slowly decreasing in time. So again, yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Yeah, they could kick the can down the road, but eventually it's going to explode, and you're not going to see any sign of it. So it's going to be a snowball effect. One hedge fund, second hedge fund, third hedge fund, Susquehanna and Simplex, two big trading firms, heavily shorting AMC. And you're going to see these hedge funds start to explode. all of the naked shorting and the synthetic shorts. I don't know if we'll ever see those. You know, I don't.
So what you think, Paul?
No, I've heard commentary that states that they don't believe what happened to GameStop, though, specifically was a gamma squeeze. I would, a lot of people, I mean, not myself, but I know a lot of other people that have actually been analyzing, like basically the gammas on all those basic weird breaks as well. But I don't believe it is a gamma squeeze. Mainly because the indicators for gamma squeeze aren't necessarily there, if I recall correctly. And also the dates themselves are so highly repetitive and so highly consistent that it would suggest something else. Most gamma squeezes are random, more or less, but it's everything's happening on the dot. So I don't know if this actually is by definition a gamma squeeze, though.
Yeah, I agree with her. The GameStop run up was FOMO. You know, people started seeing the stock rise, and what happened with social media? People were jamming in there, man. They were buying, and yeah, there were probably some short positions that were filled at a particular time, but that was definitely not a squeeze. That's why those pricks at Robinhood took away the buy button. They did not take away the fucking sell button.
Nope, sure didn't.
Nope, they did
because
not.
they wanted to stop the buying. And you know what? I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this, but they left the fucking buy button open for the institutions. Aha.
That's crazy.
Mm.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, one thing I think more people are coming to realize is that we are up against big forces. You know, like really
right.
in the end, you know, like you think rich people are going to let their money go easy, guys? You know, like this ain't, I'm going to tell, like, so, like, even with what's going on in the community and stuff, right? It's really hard to, like, sell people right now on AMC with a lot of the drama going on in the community. If they go online and do any research, they're going to come across this shit, right? So, like, my message, if to anybody, and whether it's AMC or GME or whatever stock you're getting into, I would say, look, this is our chance. Once we have one chance at this, right? Like one chance, right? At this. This is never going to happen again, right? So for anybody like in a position that you're not doing well in life or whatever, and you have a little bit of money you can put aside to invest in the stock market, this is your chance to get your fucking money that you're owed from these fucking assholes. Not just the hedge funds, but the corporations, all these rich people. This is your chance. Take it. It's a 50-50 shot, but it's better than the one we've had in the past of us finally getting our fucking desserts, us finally getting paid out for sticking up with a lot of this bullshit that's been going on for the last 20 years. That's how we sell this fucking thing. Not with fucking movies, not with merchandise, not with super chats. We sell it as a fucking movement, the way it started out as, instead of all this bullshit going on the outside of it. Do you agree with that, or do you not agree with that? I mean,
right.
Is everybody kind of on board with that? If this is like, if you're about this cause, I don't care. Like, shut your fucking YouTube channel, shut your OnlyFans down, shut your fucking merchandise selling down, shut your fucking movies down, because you're making money off the backs of the people you're supposed to be fucking helping, and you're representing us fucking poorly, and we look like fucking clowns. And every time we cheerlead another rich asshole, whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's fucking Jeff Bezos, whether it's this Mark guy that came along, we're not any better than the other fucking people we're fighting against. This is us versus them. This is the haves versus the have-nots. This is our chance to get some money so we have a say in things that goes on in the future. That's the way I
like John. Like John was saying, the GME stand a better chance because that float smaller.
Yes.
Yeah, smaller float is easier to move the stock. You see what I'm saying?
Once
you got all them shares, and then think if you saying they might do an offering again, say you do another offering, that's adding more shares to this shit, which is going to make it harder to push that motherfucker up even more.
Yeah, that will totally push things back in a heavy way. Now, I was taking a look at the high frequency trading on GME. I sold my GME back when the run up went down, and then I jumped on and bought 50,000 shares of AMC at $1.98. So right now I'm sitting on $2 million in my account. That's been giving me a chubby every morning whenever I fucking wake up, because I know that 2 million can easily turn into 50 million.
So at 2 million, where was you at when that bad boy was $70 then?
I was shaking.
You was up.
I was shaking, and I was on the fucking internet ordering a goddamn Lamborghini.
Hookers and blow. That's the way to go, right? No.
That I haven't fucking paid for yet.
Hey, how much was you up though? You ain't tell the number. What was the number? Where was you at?
Let's put it this way: I watched $3.65 million dwindle away.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So all of these
bad man.
Yeah,
all of these fucking YouTubers that probably don't even own any AMC, or maybe they own fucking 10 shares. Whenever you watch millions of dollars dwindle away, and I've been a day trader for 20 years, and I've been pretty consistent in winning against the market. I was taught to follow what the hedge funds are doing. Don't go against them, go with them if you want to win.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, things are different. This is a movement and so on and so forth. So it's been pretty hard for me to sit back and just leave that money in there. I even went ahead during the Donald Trump SPAC, the DWAC.
Yeah.
I jumped in on that, and I made $360,000 in 48 hours. And just to be, a fucking cheerleader, I went and spent another $185,000 of that money and bought 5,000 more shares of AMC, which I didn't fucking need. So it's kind of stupid to do that, but I just wanted to show my faith in what we're doing, because as an experienced trader, I would not be involved in this if I didn't believe it. I would have taken my money and ran, and that $2 million in my Fidelity account, I could be fucking day trading left and right. I can be just killing it, because you need buying power to make money. You need money to make money, and I probably would have been a multimillionaire off of that Donald Trump SPAC, that DWAC. If I would have put all that money into that, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yeah, I regret that, because I actually bought into that because I needed some money quick, and I was like, I bought into it, but I ended up on the losing side of that. I ended up losing about $2,000. And it really, because I'm in a position where I need money. I'm like, I got to make a move, because I can't sit here and wait all day and hold when I need money. You know what I mean? Like, and that's,
believe me, I got fucking 2 kids in college, and one of them getting ready to go to law school at Columbia in New York. So
yeah. Well,
I
need to find a place to stay by February, so that's where I'm at.
I've helped a lot of people. I've helped a lot of people in repositioning their investments. I think Review Dork Gabe, he went over, he tweeted some shit about that, made a video about it, I think about 2 weeks ago, and he got fucking slaughtered on Twitter.
this is the thing about those guys, is that they have promoted one stock for 6 to 8 months, right? Like nonstop. And so my problem with the whole YouTube thing with a lot of these guys is that they cheerlead the stock and make it like it's the only one out there, and they get this hype up, and they don't realize when you do that people will go all in with this and be willing to lose everything. Meanwhile, you're telling everybody to kind of go all in with this, and then on the side you're trading other stocks, or you're playing options, or you're doing this stuff. So you're disingenuous with promoting one stock for so long if you're not talking about some other stocks at some point. And now they've painted themselves in a corner, because now they want to switch, because people are getting tired of their act or whatever, but they can't be hypocrites either. You know what I mean? Like,
I called them all out yesterday, man. I called them all out on fucking Twitter. Now
that's the thing. If they really wanted to help people, they should have said, hey, buy and hold some of this. And if we have these other plays and hold, we'll tell you about these too to make some quick money. But like, they didn't do that from the beginning. Instead, they were just like buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. And you can't do that for 6 to 8 months and then switch positions all of a sudden on people and say, well, guys, this might not happen. Or, well, I'm invested in this other stuff now that's making money, so fuck AMC and fuck GME. Like, that's what that's what the problem I think a lot of the community is.
Yeah, if you take a look.
For a lot of the people that have just been pushing this type of stock, a lot of it's just like, whatever, Reviewed or Jackson are the like, oh, what's it, user of intellect, or like the lower person or Astro or whatever, such like that, is that also they don't do their own DD and they steal it from other people. And if it actually is, they do their own DD, but nonetheless, they still have to get views or on their YouTube channels. So that's why they've been like trying to like stir things up. That's why I think that log the float was a completely bullshit thing, not only just for the chances of getting a bunch of personal information, but just like something that's different, and so that they would have something to talk about on their YouTube channel. So like when I called them out for like basically this is not a statistically sound study, I was like, this is bullshit. I mean that wrecked like a bunch of people. And then with Review Dork, like calling him out basically when he said, oh, like you should sell at 40, you should sell at 40, but then buy back at 30, and he's basically was trying to tell people to day trade. So that's like, first of all, he doesn't understand how capital like taxes work, or just taxes in general. He's like, you don't want to get taxed if you pull it out of your broker. Like, Jesus Christ, no. And then like on top of it, just like trying to explain to him like, oh, that's how you leverage, like average it down. It's like, no, it's like there's a reason as to why we buy and hold, but basically just calling out every single motherfucker that thinks that know what the fuck they're doing. And then on top of it, just like, man, like these people don't do their own DD, and so either they have to fake it in some way or another, but because they don't have anything to contribute, because they just steal it all from other people.
Yeah, plus you get hit with a wash sale. You get hit with a wash sale whenever you do that that averaging down. You know, for some people it is, so for some people it's okay, but not for everybody. You know, and Gabe kind of he really didn't explain that properly. You know, I mean, I've helped several people you know, average down because they were in really, really bad positions because they bought during that $72 run up, and they were in at 65, 62, 58, and you know, they were just sitting there losing their ass and ready to commit suicide. You know, so I said, look, there is a way to do this. You know, it takes some balls, and eventually it will all wash out. That's why whenever you sell and then you buy back in within 30 days on a legitimate broker like Fidelity, yeah, you'll be labeled as a wash sale, and that's that. And I know all about that fucking capital gains because I get beat to death with it. But
so you said a wash sale is what again? Just buying and selling in 30 days?
Yeah. So say for instance, like if you're on a legitimate broker, fuck Robinhood and Webull because they don't.
I'm on E-Trade.
Yeah. Well, E-Trade will show you if you had shares at $50 and then you sold them, and then within 30 days you went and bought the stock back at a lower price, they'll put a little W next to your position, which constitutes a wash sale. So they're taking that loss and they're adding it to your share price. And then if you sell the stock with the wash sell symbol, you'll still be selling at what you bought it at, but they are adding those losses to your share price. So if you Google,
but you don't gotta pay for it though, right? You don't pay for the loss though, right?
No, but you can't claim it. Yeah, you can't claim it right then and there. But if you Google wash sale, it will give you a better definition of it. And some people get real skeptical. Oh, I don't want to get labeled a wash sale. We don't even know what a fucking wash sale is. You know, but sometimes averaging down when you're stuck is the right thing to do if you know the stock's going to make a significant rise at some point. It all washes out.
Yes, I agree. But I think the problem I have with people like Review Dork is that he sat there and told a bunch of people to buy and hold for months, and then gives the perception that he's making money off of those same people telling him to buy and hold while he's moving his money around off of that.
Yeah,
you see what the problem is. And it's people like me at the bottom that are going to pay the price for
what you were saying, Paul?
The small holders are the ones.
Fuck that guy. He's like trying to show off, like, I have X amount of millions of dollars, and he showed a picture of his house with a bunch of Christmas.
He showed that.
Yeah,
but that's because he's making money. That's the problem with the people in the YouTube shows is they've been misleading people, and people have caught up to that now, and now it's not. You can see it's not about the movement because they try to make it about them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Whether that's Terrible, whether that's Trades, whether that's Matt Kors, whether that's Astro, whether that's Jackson, whether whoever out there is out there promoting this for a while. When the drama turns, it comes to about them. Just like Jackson, right? He was mad he didn't get included in the movie. Well, if the movie's about the community, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad about not being featured in this thing?
I wouldn't include Jackson in any fucking movie.
Yeah.
And so I mean, a lot of it is just like the majority of people that are on YouTube that are giving this investment advice. They all just started just learning this shit. I mean, like reviewing electronics on YouTube. Jackson was all about his music prior. Like Astro for a fact didn't know shit, and then all of a sudden he just stole my shit, and so now he knows everything. Tara was OnlyFans, and then all of a sudden when AMC popped up, she started following. And so every single person that's been basically called out for being a shill have all the same similarities behind it. They just have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, and so
they've been proven they can be bought. They've been proven they can be bought. That's it. So why are we going to believe these people when they can be bought by their crowd? They can be bought by the hedge funds or whatever company just as easily, right?
Yep.
Somebody got a bad echo.
Yeah, tickets away from there. It's on his end, but he's away for a second. So sorry.
Yeah, listen, man. I've been trying to call these people out.
We got a little echo.
The YouTubers, like for instance, if you go to a website called socialblade.com, you could enter the URL of any YouTube channel, and you can see all of their statistics, their views, their followers, and their money. So Matt Kors has made over almost $500,000 this year on YouTube revenue. Same thing goes with Trey Collins. Okay, they're making more money on the boob tube than they are if they fucking tried to invest. Trey's already tried to day trade. He's admitted he's lost tons of money. Because several of these people are intelligent. Trey's intelligent. You got it. Matt's intelligent. Astro's weird intelligent.
No, it's not. Astro's a fucking liar, and he steals everything.
But
no,
I mean, besides that, besides
no, like I've actually had a conversation with him when he stole my right before he stole everything from me. We had an hour-long conversation, and basically he tried to oh my god, he tried to trying to impress me with all his false accomplishments, and every single one of them were just, he's like, oh, I thought about Pythagoras theorem when I was X amount in elementary school. Just no, he's not smart at all.
Yeah, that's a complete fucking lie right there, because my wife is a renowned physicist, and Astro's team requested that I please put her in a Discord chat with them so she can make them understand these theories. And then she showed them how they do not fucking relate to stock trading.
And yeah, on top of it also, it's just he uses words that sound smart, but actually are wrong.
Exactly.
But that's his thing. That's one of the cue tale of people that want to think they're smart, but they're just using words incorrectly, so many of them whatsoever. Just no, you just want to do this so people who don't know the word themselves are think you're smart, but in all reality, you're a fucking fraud.
Yeah, I have to agree 100%. I mean, for me to take stock advice from some young kid that just had to move back to his fucking parents' house because he couldn't afford to pay his rent, but he's still on YouTube. Making super chats. I think he pulled in that 1 month. What the hell was it? September, 14,000 in super chats.
I mean, to correlate this to a previous discussion or a topic we had earlier, every single one of those people have been were talking up and praising Mark Ahodes. So therefore, it's I am led to believe that they all were hired by Mark Ahodes to basically be his puppets. Because every single one of them, we're all about log the float. They're all about all this other shit. But yeah, every single one of them were all backing Mark Ahodes hardcore, and so therefore it's not I thoroughly believe that he paid them to do our like basically be his puppets. I mean, with it all coming out, like they all share the same similarities and they all share the same characteristics, and it's all because they're just some fucking person that actually was able to be bought off, or someone that all you have to do is like talk, like compliment them like a lot. So then, because they have low self-esteem, and make them feel powerful, and then basically they're just make them dance. And so I mean, every single one of them have been linked to Marco Hodes in some fashion or another. That's the reason as to why they have no investing experience whatsoever, but it's just another person that they wanted to manipulate and control. And so
I'm
it's
your
like
puppet.
really, yeah.
I'm your puppet.
But I mean, even like if you were to even separate every single individual and put them in more of their cliques, more or less, Terrible is going to take care of the OnlyFans. Astro is like some weird fucker. Fuck that guy. We have we have the like this. Oh, we have the like former military guy that's in there as well. We have like this one person that's in the music. But every single one of them, they
Review Dork's
all have
nerdy.
a unique. Or no, Review Dork. Oh yeah, because he's like some person that's been struggling to sell review electronics online, so therefore he already has like a good follow. But I mean, every single one of them were people that were easily, basically, if you make them pretend that they're so amazing whatsoever, they're gonna do whatever the fuck you want because you're the person that's praising them, and so you're telling them what you like. Just so they're hearing what they want to hear, and as a result, like they're doing whatever to keep on going. It's a superficial sense of like being important whatsoever. But no, every single one of those YouTube people, every single one of those like the main people that have been pushing for AMC or whatever, what's the biggest influencers have been linked to Marco Hodes. And then I mean for this the biggest like one of the most like if you were to look at the number of followers someone has, it's going to be astronomically huge in comparison to when they just started. And then you just cross compare like how many followers they have with like, okay, they made a tweet. How much attention does that get? Does it get like how many likes, how many like comments and stuff like that? And for example, like with Terrible, I mean, she has like 80,000 followers, but yet all her she only got like maybe a handful of like onesie twosies of likes per tweet. And so like
yeah, I noticed that too with a lot of them.
And yeah, so that basically means that each individual was bought, and then they were basically a bunch.
So you said she only get 2 likes per tweet?
Yeah, or that. But now they're
comparatively to like, yeah.
Listen, man. And they're all on their fucking cheerleading popcorn. Since when does fucking popcorn relate to the stock market and a squeeze? So I refer to all of these things as novelties.
A-Stock, he asked you a question. You see what Costco asked you?
Costco.
Answer his question
real
quick.
Yes, AMC will squeeze. They're mathematically, it has to happen. There is absolutely no way. There is no way in hell that it can be prevented. Yes, they can control some things and kick the can down the road for a little while. I do agree with Pawn that January is going to be somewhat of an eye-opener. And I think that they're purposely waiting. They know it's going to happen. So, they cannot prevent it.
Let me ask you a question real quick. GME and AMC is a big debate right now between people, right? Some people are saying GME is already squeezed, but a lot of people are saying GME is the only squeeze. Where on the flip side of that, with AMC, a lot of people are calling AMC a distraction with a lot of the tactics and kind of whatever's been going on. And a lot of people don't think Adam Aaron is a friend to the stockholders a lot of the time with a lot of his moves. How would you sell AMC compared to GME right now if GME has the same potential or even more than AMC?
Well, I mean, as an investor, and I've been asked this question many, many times, it would be based on how many shares you can buy with the money that you have to invest. So naturally, GME stock is quite more expensive. So if I only had $1,000 and I want more shares, then I would gravitate to AMC.
I have a question though about that. So you have 5,000. Say I have $5,000 right now, right, in stocks and stuff, right? And $5,000 is a percentage. No matter how many shares I get, that percentage of that money that goes up will be the same no matter what. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But
so
then
what,
you're
what's the difference?
Volume.
But the way it's been explained to me is AMC has more shares available, so you actually own a less percentage of the company for the same amount of money. Is that correct?
Well, okay, you're speaking about being a long time investor. Okay, this is people are going to fucking sell these stocks when the price drives up. They want to have 1,000 shares compared to just 20 shares.
Is that because of the sell-off potential?
AMC, I mean, so like, yeah, so previously AMC did like release a bunch of shares. So the way that this goes, analogy or just a general math example, for it's like, let's say there's 100 shares total in a float or whatever have you, and then I own 1 share. And that gives me, I own 1% of the company. But then all of a sudden, like for example with AMC, they released a bunch more shares. Let's just say it's 200. So now instead of me owning 1%, I now own 0.5% of that company. And so that's one problem with like having a large float or even adding more shares to the float itself, is that although you started out with like X amount of shares, your percentage drastically decreased.
Hey, Costco got a question, Paul. Read that question. It's kind of like along with the lines of what you said, I'm thinking, but the question I pinned.
How do you compare with what? What do you mean by that? Is there another way you can phrase that?
I think he means like with AMC, people own a large amount of the float. GME owns a small amount of the float, right? Is that kind of what I think he's kind of with the price? So how does that reflect in the price value of the stock?
Hey, Costco, get in more in depth with your question on what you really trying to find out.
Or Costco, hop on and ask if it's easier.
Yeah, hop on if you want to. I mean, you could cut your camera off, just like Stunt got it. You could jump on. Anybody that want to jump on and ask any question that you want. Just click that link right there.
Yeah, he just put the.
Yeah, see, these
or type it in the chat, whatever make it more comfortable for you. Some people don't even want to talk, but
yeah, the kind of question that he's asking is like a question that an avid investor would ask when you're asking about price value of a stock and so on and so forth. Nobody involved in a squeeze gives a damn about the price value of a stock, because GME is over bloated, and so is AMC. But as you can see clearly, that AMC or GME held its water through the run up, through the sell off, and the stock stayed in the hundreds, 150, 180. Now it's up to what, 250 today?
Yeah, it's 250.
So the stocks are being utilized to make money through high frequency trading. That is.
But see, my thing stunk. Why hasn't AMC even touched 100 yet? Or Pawn, anybody who want to answer that?
Listen, if it touches 50,
supply and demand.
Yeah.
So it has to go with supply and demand. I mean, when they release more shares, it's going to there's more supply, and the demand has been pretty frequently or have been remain the same. So then back in January, their short interest actually was released on AMC had a short float percentage of about 38%, while GameStop had a short float percentage of 226%. And I'm honestly, I'm led to believe that the amount of shares that were released or added to the overall float for AMC probably equaled the amount of shares that were bought by shareholders. And I think that canceled themselves out, and so therefore it kind of nulled out the short interest. That's one reason as to why I'm all GameStop, because the short interest was recorded back in January to be over 226%. But then definitions of short interest changed, and the how it was reported changed. So that's why the values right now are not similar to what they were back in January. But still, there's no way they held actually closed any of their short positions. So therefore, it's safe to say that the short interest is fucking huge, because that's what it was back in January. And I mean, in comparison to AMC to GameStop, I mean, AMC was only just 38%. Would you want to go on if you're going to go for a short squeeze, would you choose the one that has a 38% short float, or would you choose the one that has 225% short float? I don't know, because one is about 200% more than the other, and also exists in a does not exist domain, And
So what?
it's
GameStop
over the
got to
money
200%.
in January.
Damn. You see the question Jason got? Jason got a question for you right there. Pen right there.
Why isn't GME Mo? Because like it's not. I don't believe that it's a gamma squeeze, and so that's why it hasn't MOAS at 248. I think that there has been talks about how let me think about how to say this. Like one of them is that I don't think it's a gamma squeeze, and so that's why it hasn't squeezed yet. And then on top of it, why hasn't it? Like every single, I mean, when they actually get to a certain amount, let me try to say this. Like to hedge funds, money is imaginary, so therefore they can just like pump it out whenever they need to. And so that's one reason as to why I think that there's existed min and max, or the value of themselves are constrained. But also, it would also mean or suggest that margin call is way above that. And so that's a couple different ways to view it. I would argue.
And GME right now is I'm looking at the short position indicator that me and my associates have been working on. That's just an absolutely beautiful tool. But if you want to talk about GME, I mean, I could give you a rundown on it right now. There was a pretty good run up May 13th through June 9th. Okay. Then right then and there, there was a massive short sale that started on or about June 10th and lasted all the way through August 23rd. And the short squeeze positions in GME are shrinking faster than they were in AMC. So there was another short squeeze, or another short position September 20th through October 13th. Now, the next one was October 21st through October 28th. So they are covering these daily short squeezes, or short positions. Sorry, I'm like dying of sleep. So there is short selling going on, and it's being used to keep the stock where they want it. As far as GME goes, the reason why it hasn't MOASed at 248 is because 248 is not a target price. If GME happens to get an influx of buying from retail on the lit market, and it goes anywhere near the price target of 300, which was close to the June run up of 325. If it gets anywhere near 300, yeah, you'll see the shorts covering like you've never seen before. The same applies for AMC. $52 is a target price. That's why they're suppressing it and keeping it, below or at 40 to 45. And they do this every single week, starting on Monday, starting on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then by Thursday, Friday, the stock is right back to where it was. So GME has a better chance of squeezing first if they get new money coming in and buying the stock. They will freak the hedge funds out. It'll cause them to be a little paranoid, and they'll close their positions.
How much money do you think these stocks actually need to be infused into the game right now?
And after you answer that, they got a question for Pawn. Go ahead and answer that.
Yeah,
if Costco got a question for Pawn.
Let's just say, for instance, that we had an influx of anywhere from 30 to 40 million from retail. You would see the paranoia start to kick in. I could guarantee that. Guarantee. And that has to be done. That can't be done in a block trade. That has to be done on the lit market in a systematic way. And you would see instant paranoia. You would see shorts covering like you've never seen. So all of these folks haven't seen what a squeeze really looks like. I mean, it's a magnificent thing to watch. And I do have this sickening feeling in my stomach that that the government is involved, because they know that if these two meme stocks squeeze at the same time or on the same day, it is going to crush.
It's over. It's
going to
over.
crush the world market, man.
Crush.
So, with all of the push that we've had against the SEC, all of the evidence that we've shown them in a fucking court of law, you would be getting the electric chair with the evidence that we've put forth this year alone. But no.
But the fix in. The fix is in. Shit, they ain't about to let that happen.
So what's the chances of the government letting that happen?
Well, there's going to be a point in time, and I'm sure they've already told these institutions and these
they can
investment
only
companies,
hold on so long.
Exactly. And then you're going to be on your own. And just like in 2008 during the housing crisis, they will make a sacrifice, because these people dance with the devil.
I mean, in regards to the government and getting any government involvement or such like that, I mean, I would argue that they may be hesitant, but because anything that they do, because like how they respond to this specific event will entirely determine how future, like any investor whatsoever, even trust the American market. So if they fuck it up, I mean, they're all foreign,
it's not only that.
Hey, Pawn, don't forget to answer that question at the bottom once you get through saying what you're saying.
I was just going to say no. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
AD after that, yeah, you jump on.
It's just a statement.
Oh.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think they don't want people showing up at their doorstep. If this doesn't go right, you think people aren't going to show up at the SEC protesting and looking for, somebody's head, or going to Citadel or all these places? You don't think if it gets to the point where people get really fucked out of money on this, you don't think people are going to go out there and kind of start fucking rioting and shit?
I think they'd rather see that. I think they'd rather see that than to see the whole fucking game fucked up.
I don't know. That's a risky game they're playing. That's a risk, because everybody's already tightly wound. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not promoting this shit. I'm just saying, reality-wise, stepping back and looking at how society acts to different things. It won't be good if this doesn't go well for the retail investors. It just won't be. I'm sorry. It just won't be.
And John said, do y'all think AMC runs after GME squeezes? So everybody get their opinion on that. Pawn, Stonk, and
I think if either one starts to squeeze, and it would probably happen in the pre-market, then I think you're going to see both of them squeeze, because you have to put yourself in the shoes of a hedge fund manager or one of these scumbags on Wall Street. And when I mean they live in paranoia, they live in paranoia. I mean, I have friends in this industry, and it's like they're smoking weed on a fucking daily basis, and they're so goddamn paranoid. Because,
hey, I smoke weed on a daily basis. No weed slander on this show.
Me too. I just had to mute my mic while I was toking. But that's what's good. I mean, if we had some kind of a weird thing happen that would create some paranoia within these hedge funds and market makers, then this would start to kick off. But
I kind of agree with that.
They know they've got an inside track with the fucking government, just like the 2008. Okay, if you ever watched the movie the Second Wall Street, City of Darkness or whatever. They kind of throw in that 2008 scenario, and Lehman Brothers gets bought out for $2 a share.
I personally don't believe that AMC and GME will squeeze together. I mean, even right now, you'll notice that they're not moving together as well.
Nope, they're not.
And then on top of it, also, if anyone looked at Melvin's 13Fs, AMC never popped up. It's only AMCX popped up once in a quarter, but AMC did not pop up the entire time for all the history of from the SEC filings.
Well, you're looking at it from a very technical standpoint. If you look at it from a human mind and psychology standpoint, You have to put yourself in the shoes of these people.
Yeah, I'm just merely saying how like AMC has not shown up in any. So I mean, the narrative has been pushed that Melvin and Citadel shorted these stock tickers to oblivion. However, while GameStop itself did show up every single quarter to a disgusting amount, AMC never showed up at all in the 13Fs whatsoever. So that would indicate that Melvin, despite how it's been despite what the narrative that's been pushed says, Melvin doesn't even care enough about AMC to place puts, to place calls, to even buy shares, because they're not showing up whatsoever.
Well, Mr. Plotkin, they say Ken Griffin said he is one of the brightest and smartest upcoming traders and hedge fund managers that he's seen in a long time. Well, what does that tell you? From a psychological standpoint, that means that Ken Griffin created Plotkin. He put Plotkin in position to do his dirty work. That's why would Citadel give a fucking failing hedge fund $300 billion fucking dollars or whatever they gave him? You know, I forget what the figure was. Doesn't make any sense.
They specifically joined because Citadel wanted to buy Melvin's algorithm, shorting algorithm, back in 2015 or a little prior to that. And so, I mean, I would also assume, like, one reason as to why he's the greatest trader ever. I mean, maybe because his narcissism, you're like, oh, well, this motherfucker brought me in like a shit ton of money, so he's the greatest trader ever. When all reality, in all reality, like me, someone who just began trading in January, has been decoding, like, or reverse engineering every single fucking thing that they're doing. So is it really a genius when someone who, like, just started investing in January, just, like, been reverse engineering this shit? Like, no.
Hey, can I tell you guys a secret?
No, I love secrets.
I've taken some money over the last 90 days, and the two associates that helped me out. One of them is a retired software engineer, and the other is a retired quant that has written high frequency trading programs for the last 8-9 years. They're both retired. And I got connected with these guys, believe it or not, through a little golf outing in Tampa. And these two fuckers have developed their own trading machine trading. I have a short video of the actual screen and the computer trading for you and watching the money tick up on the computer screen of what you've just earned in the matter of hours, letting the machine do the trading. And
that's not very difficult. You could probably just write a Python script to run all that.
It's a little more than a Python script. Believe me, it's a complete software. You need a large server to do it. I actually
talking about the software engineers. I mean, that's the reason as to why I think that we're even here right now, because although, yes, you can have a bunch of people that are really smart together, you're still nonetheless within software programming script like that. If you have, it's going to be a bunch of if-then loops, like, oh, they're all conditional and such like that. And so basically, if all those if-then loops fail, or if you have a variable, like, for example, short interest of 225% that exists outside its domain, it's going to freak out and it's going to go into this weird, like, 404, like, basically it's going to cycle and cycle and cycle. And
all of that has nothing to do with what I'm saying here. They have a perfected machine trading program that I've watched myself, that I have tested myself, and I have bargained with them to please allow me to buy what you guys have, invest in it, and I want to provide it to people in this community free of charge. And you'll get a username, a password. You'll have to put at least 25,000 in an account because you're going to be trading with some serious frequency. You'll be able to set parameters. You'll be able to buy and sell at least 10 stocks at a time in high frequency. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And you literally watch your little money counter go up. I watch these guys run the program for me in live time. And in 3 hours, because you could set an hourly parameter too. In 3 hours, they were up $4,300.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
So
I could show it to you guys.
No,
I could tweet it to you.
It's fine. I just so you're providing this for free, you say. So what are you going to do with the information that you collect to get people to do this?
No, that's not a matter of getting people to do it. Once I have everything put together, like for instance, the server that I need is $20,000. All right. They want $100,000 to write me my own version of this program. I cannot afford what they're using. So this program will only be able to trade 10 stocks at a time, or just 2 or 3, whatever you want. So it will high frequency trade those specific stocks in the amounts that you set. So, that's not
my question though. My question is, with the information what are you going to do with the information you collect?
Oh, you mean like collecting?
Yes, because you're saying you're doing this for free of charge, but we've heard stuff like this before.
Oh,
and find out it's information collecting, and then our information gets sold to somebody else. So how do do you understand? I mean, this is the same type of stuff we've been talking about with the community going on. And this, do you understand like my question with that? Do you? So nothing's ever for free. I don't feel like. Like there's always a price to pay. So what's the price on your end of the,
to tell you the truth, I mean I've dealt in data in my past career, lists as we would call them, and data in the stock market industry now is like a fucking golden egg. I never
So what are you going to do with that information?
I never personally thought about selling people's data. I don't.
You've come up with this whole thing to collect information from people, and you've never thought about what you do with
that. My thing was not collect information from people. Mine was giving access to what I've bought basically for everybody to use. I was not charging no fees, but now that you bring it up, that data collection.
Yeah, how is it different?
Always becomes a factor.
That's my question. What's the difference between doing this and something like log the float?
Oh, those fucking people are idiots. They got.
But I'm just saying you're kind of doing you're kind of like saying the same thing here, except you're saying, oh, just trust me with your information. Do you understand? Do you understand where the issue comes in?
Absolutely. Well, then you can take a look at it this way too. If I gave you free access to a platform that allows you to make several $1,000s a day, do you really give a shit what I do with your name and address?
Well, I think
I'm just being facetious about it, man.
I mean, like a lot of people do, and you can say, this will work 100%, but there's a lot of variables that go into that working and making people a lot of money too. It's a no doubt. I mean, like you can't sell something and say it's going to 100,000% work, and then it doesn't, and then you've got people's information and people have lost money to you. Do you understand where my issue kind of is?
Nobody's going to be losing any money to me because I'm not collecting any money from anybody.
Losing money with your program, so they're losing money by using your program if that happened. And they could make money. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying there's a chance. You can't 100% guarantee that people are going to make money off your program.
Oh yeah, they're going to make money off of it. Yeah, okay. If you see this work, I could send you the video clip of it in actual action. It is an amazing thing. It's the same damn thing that high frequency trading firms do, but on a smaller scale. So, I've been working with these guys, and I see what they do, and
I feel amazing. Like you're kind of trying to sell something right now.
No, I ain't trying to sell shit. What I mean? No.
Wait, no, I'm just
no. If anybody wants to participate, they're free
I have
to do so.
Question for you. So a lot of people, there's a theory out there that AMC is actually the hedge funds controlling the whole AMC. Like it's a distraction from GME. Mm-hmm. And with at least GME, like one of the moves that spoke to me about GME is that once the squeeze happened, they changed out their CEOs and stuff. Now, and I promote this movie a bunch, if you haven't watched it, I encourage you. I found it. It's like $2 to watch. It used to be free on YouTube, but it's this movie called The Wall Street Conspiracy. And if you watch this movie, one of the things they do is that they replace the CEO of a company
with their own
and their board of directors. Now, I bring into questions about Adam Aaron. I think the cheerleading for Adam Aaron is a little bit too much. I think agree. The math is there for this to happen, but the idea that Adam Aaron is our ally, I think. And even Ryan Cohen is not our ally, really, in the end. They're not there to make the squeeze happen, but particularly with Adam Aaron, he was on the board. He was appointed to the board of AMC in 2015 as CEO, which is about the time when Netflix and stuff started to take off really big, right? So, and the movie theater industry was down. The industry was down before the pandemic. People forget this. Nobody said that how much they loved AMC before the short squeeze happened. So, and I'm invested in AMC, and people can say whatever they want, but I've also been listening to the GMC side, and I invested in GME now. And the more I hear about GME and the more drama that comes up with the AMC, it's really hard to stay and fight for AMC when the same thing could happen with GME, especially when you see stuff like CEO Adam taking a lot more debt and all this stuff. And just some of the moves he's made, like taking crypto. Who's going to pay crypto? Like for a movie ticket. You're putting all this effort and money into taking crypto. And I think if you're an average guy, you're out of your mind if you give AMC your crypto. You know exactly. what I mean? Like, so, what do you say to people saying that AMC is actually a distraction and GME is the one everybody should be putting in?
Let me add a little
point on that for me.
Let me add a little fuel. Let me add a little fuel to your fire, and it's not really that far off from a conspiracy. But Adam Aaron took over, you said 2015. In early 2017 is when AMC all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, became a major target of shorting. So I've shown everybody this many times. Matter of fact, I just posted it again, the chart showing it on Sunday. So I believe in what you're saying. I did see that documentary, and it does. So
you know exactly. Yes. No. Yes. And I get called crazy when I see this.
No.
And the same token, we're dealing with big money players who everybody will say will do anything, including in placing the CEO of a company to put it down and put it out so they can inherit all. Not only when they bankrupt the company, they probably go back and buy all the assets from that company, right? Or they inherit them through bankruptcy. So they absorb all of that too, right? Like they're going for everything here. They're not playing around. So what makes people think that Adam Aaron is our ally and why we should invest in AMC? I invest in it because of the algorithms. I don't invest in it because of the CEO. I don't invest in anything because of the CEO, because to me, honestly, the whole stock market is a dirty place where the employees don't get shit that put in. No, the employees that bust their ass and work don't get shit, and it's an excuse for everybody else to make money off the back and CEOs to make a bunch of bonuses. So I'm not a fan of the stock market. What do you think? AMC is
talk your shit.
Yeah, sorry.
They want to hear you.
I mean, so in regards to like high frequency trading or just like computer scripts whatsoever, I think that I think that some like very beginner type high frequency trading like program or algorithm, what the fuck you want to call it, was entered in 2002 and 2003, but then a bunch of shit happened around 2010, 2011. And it's kind of one thing I've been noticing as well is that they're the same. It just like the previous one from 2002 to 2010, and then 2010 to like 2019, the actual share price or behaviors of are been mirroring one another. And so I think that with any good so when you write a super complicated script, you don't write a new one. You take what basically was already there and then you edit it. And so I think that what happened is, so in 2002, 2003, there was implementation of the high frequency trading. And then 2010, 2008 was the financial crisis. 2010, there was a flash crash. And then from 2010 to 2011 was like this weird transitional period. But like after that, like prior to that, and then Melvin entered the scene. But however, his algorithm is showing the same behavior as 22 to 2010. I mean, because like it's a super complex like script more or less, and you don't really like erase everything to make your own. No, that's like, especially for something that's this powerful, you want to fucking like know what you do is like, okay, like why did this fuck up, and what can we do to make sure it doesn't fuck up. And so they basically made one change, which is I assume it's something in regards to the rate of change or something about like damping oscillations as well. But nonetheless, like it still had there. That's the only change that they made. And so basically, any errors or any differences that we see now, I mean, it's still the same shit that's been there since 2002. But yeah, this is all because like that's the same program, but then you're just like, oh well, this little like subsection A21-3 or whatever fuck you didn't want to call it didn't work well, so we're just going to edit that bit because to edit like do erase
did I lose you
everything.
guys or
No, yeah, it's like here. And so like it's the same fucking thing that's like been in use, but it's only just minute changes whatsoever. It's like, no, and fuck would you make your own script? It's like that would be fucking complicated as fuck. But however, yeah, I think just they didn't like they made edits to prevent whatever happened, and then they didn't do anything else. So I mean, talking about high frequency, the same fucking, it's the same. It's exactly the same shit we've been seeing.
DT in the building. What's going on, big dog? Oh.
Hey, Eddie Q asks Pone, can you give us a clue what you think GME short interest is currently?
Like my napkin math says about in the thousands.
Thousands?
But
wow.
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote. That's purely.
And where's AMC at? Where's AMC?
I don't know. I don't look at AMC, but it's just like pure math now, like napkin math. So I want to trust that. But
yeah.
if you wanted me to give you a number, that's what it is, because like basically the values right now are like 100 like to 1,000x what it was previously. But I mean, right? I mean, if the values that are being recorded are anywhere between like 180% as reported in the Bloomberg Terminal, or up to 225 of recorded in other things like FINRA or Intel or other type of like recording institutions, those are like what they're willing to tell people. They're willing to tell people it's like, oh, this is about 180 because those specific type of values are self-reported. So they're self-reporting that this is 180, 225, whatever have you. However, that would mean like shit's really fucked up. It's just like that's what they're self-reporting. So like what the real values are. And so that's why it's pure napkin math. But I'm thinking like 1,000. But I'm working on I have a plan for one of my future DDs to actually figure that out with better numbers. But yeah, don't trust that. It's napkin math. But
it makes sense. It will be significantly higher than it was in January at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, like not only is that the January value at 225 is self-reported, but then on top of it, no one has sold, and so and this whole like was it 10 months? So it's going to be way higher than 225, and so yeah, I mean, my napkin math, I mean, I'll have to like actually give a number out, but don't quote me on that. But someone wanted a number, so.
Would you, okay, answer me this question. Would you buy options on GME?
No, I don't fuck with options because I don't think that this is a really good options play. And also, it takes a lot. I personally don't, because I'm lazy and I'd rather buy and hold and not have to deal with looking at the ticker all the time and putting all the thought and effort into like the options and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm all about buy and hold. So I'd be like, oh hey, just go to like Bar Chart or Yahoo Finance, be like, oh, and then be done with it. But options are very like, if you don't know anything about options, don't fuck with it because you could lose your ass.
Well, options too is like we've discussed this on the show before, and I kind of throw out like if you're early about the cause, options are actually a hurt because it's only a half. You're dipping your toe in the water. You have the option to say no to those stocks instead of just buying them, right? Like that's what an option is. So if you're not committed to actually buying the stock, then what's the point of playing options besides gambling, right?
I mean, I don't really know. I don't know enough about options to providing good response to that. But I personally just don't fuck with them.
Brandon Dale says, no, you're wrong. Yeah, you can come in and talk, Brandon. Yeah, you can come in and talk.
The option market's another way that they're making tons of money as they manipulate the stock, especially with AMC right now.
Hell yeah. I
People
saw
are
that
getting
shit.
very-
I saw that shit was at $40 yesterday.
Yep.
Last week.
Mhm.
Last week it was at $40 fucking even. And nobody made to the money.
Brandon, hit the link. Hit the link,
kinda,
Brandon.
That's the kind of shit that kind of deters me away from that stock.
Yeah, I mean, I've made good money in options. Matter of fact, this past summer with Apple.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm buying the option, maybe holding it 2-3 days, taking a profit and dumping it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're using the option market in AMC.
When do your options expire, bro?
If your options expire, you're a loser.
No, I said, when do your Apple options expire? You said you got some Apple options?
Oh, no. I trade them within 48 hours, 72 hours. This whole past summer, that's what I was doing with Apple. It was a perfect option buyer's market. It had some nice swings going on. So you just had to, make the right choice with a further out expiration date. Too many people in this AMC buying options. They're buying these options that are fucking expiring in a week.
Yeah.
All right, we got Brandon.
What up, though? I think we got a new man in here. I think he in here. What up, though?
Oh, he kicked out.
Yeah, they're suckering a lot of people, man. And there's some cheerleaders on fucking Twitter that were pushing these options, and people were just losing their ass. I get DM'd every single day on Twitter. Scott, what should I do? Scott, what should I do? Scott, what should I do? All based on AMC options that they bought inexperienced, just getting sucked in. And then it's Thursday and they're wondering, oh shit, I'm deep in the red. What do I do? fucking sell it. It ain't going to go up. Especially on a Friday,
But yeah, I believe that AMC is a distraction play. Back in January, because I've been in this game for way too long. I mean, AMC and GameStop weren't the only meme stocks to have Robinhood to shut down the buy button. I mean, they did it for Nokia and BlackBerry or Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever. It wasn't just AMC and GME that had the buy button removed. There were a bunch of others that people don't even talk about. However, I guess out of all those other ones, AMC became more popular, but regardless of such, there were others that did actually that experienced the removal of the buy button. So I mean, even back then on Wall Street Bets, they were hinting about how all that stuff is nothing but a distraction play to GameStop, and I believe that as well. I mean, looking at Bed Bath & Beyond, the random thing, but its short interest was 80% or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But however, I think that it is a distraction play, but it just happened to have all the I guess characteristics or variables where it could be the most easily manipulated. They had the dude that was the AMC CEO that's not a solid dude. They had it was a cheaper price, so people were going to go all about it. But yeah, I think it is a distraction, and this is even more present to me because GameStop and AMC do not follow each other as they used to. But I mean, I've been also looking into whether or not they're just AMC is just following the breaks, but yeah, I don't think it's all. I believe that it's all just a distraction play because that was first. That was suggested in the beginning. I mean, there were a bunch of other ones, but for some reason or another, this was the particular one that went with it. But I mean, people are like, "Oh, but AMC, they shut off both." It's yeah, that excuse doesn't work or explanation because there's other ones as well. I don't know.
Well, they took away the buy button on GME. They didn't do that with AMC. Is that correct?
No, they did it for AMC, GameStop, Nokia, and one of the Bs.
In the beginning, the initial one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they wiped it off for all of them. What's kind of funny and ironic is GME and AMC are not even in the top 10 for 2020 when it comes to short squeeze candidates. And that's been baffling me because, like, for instance, if we had the power that we do right now between these two movements and these two stocks, and I mean all the people combined, we could sit here and we could pick any one of the stocks in the top 10 as short squeeze candidate and cause it to squeeze in a matter of days, if not hours, with collective buying. And I think that's a big, big fear upcoming in the future, that shorting a stock and letting people like all of us find out about it, we now have massive, massive buying power. So we can go and counter their short positions and cost them tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of $1 million every single time they take a short position. Because that's the only way to counter a short position, is to drive the price up, make them cover. So I think that's a big fear in the upcoming future is, oh shit, look at all these crazy retail investors. Now they have the power of social media. Now they can get together and talk about it and plan just like they do. So we're playing.
But that's not totally true. Can I just say something real quick? That's not totally true, because the people that run the markets also manipulate a lot of social media and a lot of media overall. So it's small groups of people that are getting together, but overall, like, the media controls the narrative of everything. If they don't want something to trend on Twitter, it won't trend on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why, to me, you see AMC trending all the time. You rarely see GameStop trending. You rarely see other stocks
that's true.
trending.
That's actually
you
true.
rarely. How many times do you see a stock trend outside of AMC? And that's where the media manipulation comes in. And then it seems like, I'm sorry, Scott, but you're not getting a lot of love in our chat right now, because you come on here and you try to push a product, and this is and so you're kind of getting the shill treatment from our chat here. Oh, and he left. See, so. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, they try. We had the space call after a show. I think when Pone came on last time, we had a space call, and immediately these motherfuckers come in and try to dictate how we talk about stuff, dictate what we can and can't say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and that guy seems like a nice guy. I've been in conversation with him before, but when he comes on and he starts pushing something and then goes, I don't know what I would do with the info. You're going to tell me you didn't think of what you were going to do with that info. You're going to collect all this information.
You want me to let him defend himself? I put him down off the panel. I put it back on. He didn't kick off. I kicked him down, but I'm gonna put it back on. Let him defend
I thought he
himself,
left. No. I want to. Hey, that's the problem we have.
Yourself, Scott. We're gonna let him defend himself, and then we'll take him off.
Because do you see where we're coming from with this?
No, you're 100% correct, and I'll be quite honest. I didn't even think about it. I wasn't going to be utilizing it as some kind of a business or anything like that.
But we talked about it nonstop for a long time on here. Like, we let you do an infomercial basically without.
Well, I didn't want it to come off that way. I was wanting to do this for myself, and I've been planning it for several months in talks with these guys to build that for me.
You come on our show and try to push your stuff. Do you see how that makes you sound disingenuous? Like you're kind of a salesman.
Go ahead, Scott. Defend yourself, and then we're gonna kick you down, man. People ain't feeling you. We're gonna let you say your last little piece, and then everybody else go ahead.
Yeah, that's not a problem, guys. No, I didn't want it to come off like that. I'm not selling anything. I'm just.
But it kind of sounded like you were. That. Do you see where I'm coming from here? Did you see? This is the problem we're talking about, and it's been going on in the community for a while. And it seems like you seem. No,
I was bitching about the log the float thing. So you
can't bitch about that and then do the same thing and expect people.
It does sound hypocritical. Yes. I do agree with you.
Like I've said, I don't do this for followers. I don't do this for views. I do this because I want to speak my mind on some things. And my thing has been the employees, which everybody seems to kick that can down the road and not give a fuck about the employees and the inflation that's going to happen out of this for them on any of these. So that's my biggest thing. Is my thing about investing in any of these is it's our chance to get some fucking money back that we're owed, the workers of these companies, not just these companies, but other companies that have been fucking us over for years. This is a chance for us to get a payout finally on that.
Yeah, life-changing money.
That's why I don't want to promote life-changing money, but at least some help. at least some fucking help for some people out there. That's what I'm in this for. So if
Yeah,
you're out there pushing stuff and you're out there selling stuff, I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want that. That corrupts this to me. And that's the problem with a lot of people in this movement. It's been corrupted by a script, by people selling stuff, you understand, Scott? So
absolutely.
If you get in these conversations with other people, maybe I suggest you try not to push your product. Let your product speak for itself and sell it on your own time, and not get into these group chats trying to push a product.
No, man, listen, you're getting me completely wrong here. It's not a product. It was nothing that was going up for sale like in Walmart. I was going to share it with people so they're learning about trading stocks.
I understand, but to do that, you need to collect information, and you're going to tell me. And the same
I
thing
agree.
With
you make a valid point, man. I may scrap the whole idea and just use it for myself to make money. But I agree. Fine. You opened my eyes. I'm being dead honest with you guys.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you listening to our point of view on that, and that's the kind of thing that we're trying to crack down on.
Very well accepted, man. Very well accepted. You have major valid points, and All
right, Scott. We're going to wish you a good night. Thanks for coming on and talking.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate being cool. All right,
you guys all take it easy. Hey, man. Good luck.
Bye.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
What you gotta say, Pawn? People want to hear from you. Let Pawn talk her shit. She ain't out of chat. We'll give you the screen. Go ahead. What you thinking, Pawn? Talk to
actually, there was Brandon Dale said he wanted to pop up talk about options, and I was interested what he had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got the link, Brandon.
And so
what up,
I don't
Brandon?
know anything about options, but so I think it'd be cool if he came up and said some stuff.
And everybody hit the subscribe button. Brandon, come on. We trying to learn, man. That's what this shit about.
Yeah, this is a
trade. All this shit.
We're not here to push
exchange information, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We all here to learn, man. We sponges around here, man.
Let's go with Mark on what he said. Let's get back to the question. What does everyone think about AMC getting all the news every time it goes green and GME not a single one? I mean, I've noticed that myself. That thing went up $50 the last 3 trading days, and I don't even think
nobody said shit. Nobody said shit
about it.
That speaks volumes to me. You know what I mean? Like, it really does.
And for me, I don't see a squeeze for AMC. I personally believe that motherfucker is just gonna be like $40 a share. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just gonna be tinkering around $40 and playing the waiting game for people that's invested in the AMC. If they're gonna choose between the lesser of the two evils, I would say that GME squeezes and AMC does nothing.
I would say that they have to give a little bit more to keep people stringing people along. So it'll jump up to like $70 and $90, but then it'll go back down. That's what I think.
Pawn got these boys Jones and though.
I know.
Still my bathwater.
Damn. Hey, put it like this, Pawn. You would never go broke with these motherfuckers Jones and like that. You can sell bathwater. You ain't never got to worry about shit. You Gucci. You hear me? But see, she's so smart. She gonna run them dollars up. She don't need none of y'all niggas. You feel me? She can do her thing. Go ahead and talk to him though.
I mean, in regards to like just AMC owning the entire, basically why AMC is constantly being pushed. I mean, we can even talk about Mark Cahodes. I mean, only people that have showed up on like Fox News have been the ones that have been like puppets for Mark Cahodes. I mean, we got Trey, who was given the title specifically that says, the leader of the apes, and that was kind of bullshit because we're not supposed to have titles or anything like that. But nonetheless, he agreed to it. And then with Tara, she got on once. So I don't know what the fuck she did. But anyways, but all these people that have been showing up are all these AMC like puppets. And on top of it, just like with the T0, I want to say like T0 is also partially owned by Citadel as well. And so that's the one reason as to why it's been pushed. But I mean, there have been multiple times where like they would like the news or some sort of any other type of news outlet would be pushing GameStop endings for like even at like for example they would have like GameStop went down X amount of dollars today, and they pushed it out at like 6:30 or 7:30 in the morning, which is before like the trading even began. or even on top of it, they would just not follow what the ticker was saying. I mean, they were pushing these out so quickly, it was really evident that they didn't even bother to edit whatsoever anything they were pushing out. They were just pushing it out as much as they fucking can, in order to be like, oh, because they're trying anything to cause people to no longer like believe that this thing is a thing. But I mean, it's the mere fact is not being talked about, despite how it was. And I mean, it was the squeeze. It was the one that had the SEC hearing based upon it. It was the one that is the short interest of like the highest short interest. Is I mean, just on so like a media outlet, it's concerning how, and I mean, especially with Fox News being known to be a shitty news place with their own agenda, they've been pushing hard for AMC, and so that alone would be like, okay, you should do the exact opposite of what they're telling you, because they don't give a fuck about you. They only want to keep their gods that be like happy. But that's, I mean, all of it is fucking fake, like staged. I mean, all of it, like all of Fox News, all of like the people AMC shows that were like YouTube people that all of a sudden they became like hundreds of thousands of followers within just starting, despite how none of them have a background in it whatsoever. And I mean, it's just like trying to pump these people up. I mean, I can only assume that the ones that are falling for it are like the boomers, or the people that actually believe that what the news is saying is going to be like, whatever the news is saying, they're going to believe it. And so this brings me up to a very interesting phenomenon that basically said, oh, well, so if you read a magazine or anything like that, and let's say that you're an expert on a particular field, and so you read an article specifically that discusses your expertise, and you're like, this is bullshit. And then what you do is you go to the next article, and you know nothing about that particular topic at hand, so therefore you agree with it, despite how those two topics, whether or not you're the expertise in it, or whether or not you just don't know anything, come from the same magazine or journal or whatsoever. And I think that you're more willing to believe something you don't know as much in, but you're willing to call bullshit when you're expert. However, they both come from the same article. I forgot the name of that phenomenon, but that is anyway. So I think that's what's happening right now. I mean, Fox News back in the day was saying how COVID wasn't real and all these other things, and saying all these other but then also later it's the same news source that says this pushing AMC. And so you just always be aware about which things they're pumping out and which things they're not, and be aware of they both come from the same source.
You got these motherfuckers clowning in the chat. Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
Make her bathwater the GME dividend, and let's get this more ass started.
That's some funny shit. I'm sorry.
Is clowning though.
That is
Go
so
ahead,
funny.
Get my bathwater. Yeah, hey. I already said we'll just donate to charity. We just got to figure it out. Put it on eBay.
Hey, Pawn, I'm starting to think shit. You might get this mo ass started by your motherfucking self.
I know, right?
The way they Jones is shit.
A bathwater dividend will bring in the bucks, man. We'll get that push we need.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh, that's some funny shit.
I'm so oh my fucking god! I can't believe I brought it. But yeah, it is one of my weird things. I want it. I totally. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So my bathwater on the internet for charity. I don't want to be able to say that sentence.
When this is all over, you'll be a celebrity out of this shit, and you can sell your bathwater for whatever.
Sell my bathwater. Oh god. Oh my gosh.
One thing I wanted to say, I had to leave for a sec, so I missed some of what you guys were saying. But one thing I want to say after the MOAS happens, and if it does happen, whatever form it takes, whatever, I think a lot of people will be done with the stock market, but I think crypto will take off. So do you think and there's not a lot of regulations on crypto right now. So with crypto, will it be more profitable after the mother of all short squeezes? Because there's going to be a government bailout for these fuckers in the end. I know that's going to happen. That's just obviously going to happen. There's going to be some sort of government bailout for the companies that lose a lot of money on this. It's just going to happen. But then they're not going to put their money back in the same place where they lost it. They're going to put it someplace new into cryptos and stuff. So do you think cryptos will be really hot in the new year? Because it's another way to money launder for them, actually, what this kind of turns out to be, right?
Also, do you think that crypto could be another distraction for AMC?
Yes. That's why that's why AMC people have been pushing about a lot around the cryptos. I perform analysis cross comparing, so it's Bitcoin and GameStop have been known to follow each other, and so I perform analysis to figure out is that really fucking true? And so prior to 2020 they were inverse to each other, but from 2020 on they've been following each other, and so it can only be assumed that there's some sort of leverage that's happening between Bitcoin and GameStop. I mean, I personally don't trust crypto because it is, just on a technical analysis standpoint, it's not that old enough to figure out, actually have a good understanding of it. That's my opinion. But then also because it's completely anonymous or untraceable. I mean, I would, if I were a hedge fund, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to throw everything in here and keep it there for safety, and so therefore I don't have to let the government know. But when I need it, I'm going to pull it out. But there's been a large amount of evidence showing that, oh yeah, I mean, GameStop is similar to Bitcoin, which is similar to Ethereum or these other stuff. I mean, I don't trust Joe, and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with all my money. So I'm really banking that I'll just have a lot and never have to reinvest.
Yeah, that would be the dream. I'm hoping that happens for a lot of people, or at least reinvest in a business that you actually own and produce things. You know what I mean? I want to open my great grandfather's restaurant back up again, that's, and help the people in my hometown and hopefully pay them better wages and stuff, but I think that would be ideal for a lot of people that are investing. Some people just want to invest and disappear or whatever too, some people want to get super rich and keep investing. Everybody has a different thing they want to do, but are you just going to buy an island? Are you going to buy an island and just go away from society?
No, actually, the reason as to why I got into investing in January is because I dated this really shitty person, and he broke up with me, I broke up with him in January, February time, and so his favorite thing was investing, and so since I knew nothing about it, I made it my goal to basically be better at it than him, just to piss him off. And
so you're doing this out of spite.
Wow.
There's no end goal.
A woman scorn is a motherfucker. She about to get rich than a motherfucker.
I've learned two things since I've started this show. Don't fuck with Pone and don't fuck with Kid. That's what I've learned so far, is don't fuck with Kid, don't fuck with Pone. That's the two life lessons I've taken out of this show.
So yeah, I like to think that I've been pretty successful in showing the fact that I'm better at this shit than him. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just want to,
But would you keep working your job, or would you because you enjoy your work, right? I mean, you enjoy what you do, so you could start your own whatever with that, or you just keep working for what you're working for. Would you kind of do something like that, or?
I don't really know. I'm just going to figure out. I never make plans. I just YOLO it all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of my life too. Yeah. I think we're all just riding by the seat of our pants. You can have whatever plans you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Who doesn't crush them? So the question now, I guess, is: are you single now?
I mean, I am technically, but I also have a crush on some dude. So
there you go.
This is my life when I get paid. If y'all want to know me,
he's gonna use his Moab for some Moab. Is what he's gonna do.
You hear me? There we go. If y'all want to know mine.
So actually, which one's better? Is it butts or titties? Which one's better?
I like them both, but if I had to just have one, give me a big ass. Fuck it, I'm gonna roll with that.
I was gonna say, because anyways, it just, there was someone that was making this up, and I was like, butts are way better because you just titties are nothing but 5 pounds of fat. Just slap a nipple on it, and butts you have to work for it. God gives you titties, but butts you have to work for it.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I'm fucking with ass. Straight up.
You enough money, you can buy your own titties. For real. Shit.
Nah.
You're not gonna do that, huh?
Nah. I'm fine with the way I like them. I mean,
I can dig that too.
Plus, they're low body fat, and then I can run easier.
I can dig that.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second. I didn't hear. I missed all the good stuff.
We're like comparing between ass and titties right now.
You know, I've always
men or class men.
I always go for the face though in the end. You know what I mean? Like I can't if it's a girl's face, if she has a killer body and the face is ugly, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather have a pretty face and an ugly body than an ugly body and a pretty. I mean, ugly face and a pretty body. Yeah.
No butterfaces here.
No butterfaces, man. I gotta have because look, you gotta spend time with this person every day. You gotta look them in the eye every day. If you can't look them in the eye every day, you can't look at their face every day. What are you gonna do for the rest of your life? Just look down.
Man, that's bad business. Yeah. Just now, sorry, it's like really bad.
Ass and titties only last so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you hit 50s or 60s, that ass and titties are gonna start sagging no matter what you do.
Exactly.
You know? So.
Man. Anyways, that was just some.
It's the eyes, it's the face. Yeah.
I'm socially awkward. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. We're just playing around. Here.
You got so many you socially awkward, but you got these boys jonesing on you though. Shit. You would need bodyguards to step out the way these motherfuckers on you. Jesus. Shit. For real.
Oh, man.
Hey, Kid was saying that maybe next time we could if you could put our names underneath our pictures on here so people know who we are. Because a lot of people don't even know who we are. We have
like this.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
I mean, that's just. I'll just be putting the comments up, but yeah, we can.
Oh yeah.
There we go. What is DRS? What is that?
Direct register shares. So O'Brien, I believe, pushed out this DD which said that the only way to cause MOAS is if you directly register shares. Direct register shares. Essentially, when you it assigns like an ID to that specific share price, and so therefore, or that specific share. So theoretically speaking, it can't be used for rehypothecation. And so in a way, that could be used for MOAS. And so, I mean, that's why people are saying direct register shares, because then you have a chance of MOAS, which actually, when direct register shares, when it first came out, though, I was all about it because it was essentially, if you direct register your shares, you have a higher chance of getting to like some sort of dividend or something like that. But so originally started out like, oh, I'm going to throw a few into the infinity pool, essentially, because you're not like originally started out. It's like, oh, I'm never going to sell these shares. I'm just going to throw them in for the infinity pool. But as time continued on, it's becoming everyone's like putting 100% in or such like that. And I don't think that's a good idea because, I mean, you should diversify your brokers, even if you hold all GameStop. And then also, just like I mean, I haven't seen, as when I've been running my analyses, I have not seen any correlation between affecting the share price. I mean, no one knows actually if it does actually fucking work because you don't have any previous models or anything like that. And so while people are saying direct register shares, like, yeah, because you fucking forgot why it was even first told to do so. So you throw a few into the infinity pool. But now everyone just like rocking out with their cock out and be like, oh, I have 1,000 shares. Well, fuck you. I have 10,000 shares in like DRS. And so now it's become like this fucking stupid like competition because people always like innately do that shit. But so yeah, that's what I think people like you should throw some for the infinity pool, but I think it's a bad mistake to have 100% in there. And I think that has been it started out as a good thing, but now it like something seems fishy about it to me. I don't like how it's been like it evolved and stuff like that. But yeah, direct register shares. So you're just like, I have this one share.
That's a question for you right there too, Pawn, that I posted on the screen.
Well, MC Run too. I mean, like who really knows? I haven't done anything in regards to AMC, and so I can't really say with anything definitively. But I personally don't think so, mainly because AMC and GME are no longer following one another as tightly as they used to or previously.
I noticed that too.
Did.
Yeah. Especially this week.
Here go another question, Pawn.
Yeah. If RS can't be shorted, then. I mean, on the theory of a share was shorted, that shorted share shorted. Yeah, that's your like so. That's describing rehypothecation, which is a really fucking fancy term for basically saying copyright, or just like, oh, I just got one share and I just want to copy like make a gazillion copies after that one share. That's what rehypothecation is. But so I mean, like when I was even thinking about DRS, I mean, if the theoretical float is like 1,000%, just to say, and there's like a 1,000 like fake shares for that one share, what's preventing it from like it? I mean, if there's already like 1,000 fake shares, I mean, can't they just continue faking a fake? I mean,
Yeah.
that's one question. And then also it's like even if that one share was to be DRS'd, how does it immediately, what happens? Does it immediately stop that share being rehypothecated? Does it cause all the ones in the past to find different SID, like ID numbers? Or I mean, is it a waterfall effect? I mean, no one really knows, because none of the like all the shit that's going on has never been seen before. But I don't like DRS. I don't like how it's 100%. I threw a few into the infinity pool, but I don't like how it's 100%.
Hangello asks a good question. He says AMC, NVIDIA, AMC, and others look very similar, separate from GME. Big movements in some index ETFs today. So like everything else besides GME looks similar in their movements, I guess, as far as these shorted stocks go. But GME stuck out. Is that kind of what we're getting?
I mean, I don't know about NVIDIA, but I mean, GME has been, so I mean, I personally looked into GME and VIX, and they've been following each other pretty damn well until recently. They started to diverge. And so it's just trying to figure out, is it following GME because of some sort of short ladder, or is it just following VIX? And so there's, I mean, just because there's what? What?
Another question right there. And this is going to be another one after this one.
So I mean, like a lot of people have been brought like how my dates align with what the hell it is, but honestly, like I stated these dates back in August 1st. That's when I first posted all these dates actually, and so that was prior to anyone even looking into this. And for me, like people are like, oh, it's happening because of this or that or X, Y, and Z. I mean, because there's no definitive answer, it's all speculation as to why it's actually happening. And for me, I don't give a fuck about why it's happening. I just know that it is, and this is how it's happening. And I mean, this is what it looks like. I don't give a fuck why. I just know that it is, and such like that. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. Like, I don't give a fuck why it's happening, because you can argue about that all day. But I have like hard data to show that it is happening, and this is how it's happening.
Brandon got something else. There goes something else for you, and there's gonna be something else after this. So just keep reading the bottom, because they coming at you with them.
Yeah.
I mean, how long will people have to sell during MOAS? No one really can answer that question, because I mean, there's going to be was it switcher break switches? Oh my gosh. Well, so I mean, no one can answer that, because I mean, no one knows what the behavior of share price is going to look during MOAS. So therefore, if anyone tries guess is going to do this or that, is they're talking out of their ass. But I mean, this event has not occurred previously, so to make any guesses out of it is like I don't even fucking know. And I think that anyone who says they do is a pretentious asshole. But
if we are in a MOAS with either one of them stocks, what's the chances of those things being halted by the on the stock market?
So like a switch breaker halt or something like that is not unique to GameStop itself. It is something that's been implemented across the entire stock market. And so when MOAS happens, depending on how fast it moves or decreases, it's going to stop and have a halt. And this is basically your cigarette break. And so I think that's going to happen. That's definitely going to fucking happen, because it's going to go up really fast or even down really fast. But theoretically speaking, there could be days where there's only about an hour's worth of trading, because if let's say that it shot up, the rule basically is it's going to have like a 10 to 15 minute like pause. And so after that 10-15 minute pause for your cigarette break, it could shoot up again. And so, depending on
But they
how
halted fun
fast
for like 45 minutes when they halted it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. What do you mean?
Well, I was in fun when it shot up to like 1,000%, and when I got up that high, it halted for 45 minutes, and then it came back with the price was half of where it was at when they halted it. So that's what, you know, when it's not just going to be halting for the idea that it's going to halt for 10 or 15 minutes, it could halt for like a day or two, from what I've understood about how the halts work now, because I think they've changed rules on it. I don't know exactly how exactly, but I know they've changed some rules, so I think they can put up to a 2-day halt on a stock now.
No shit.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. This is what we're fighting against. Is they control the rules, guys. You know what I mean? Like this, they're gonna keep changing the rules to try to benefit them and not us. You understand? That's kind of.
Well, yeah, they don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah.
They care about
and I may be
themselves.
mistaken on that. Maybe that's just misinformation I've gotten, but I believe they've changed the rules on the halt. I don't think it's just 10 or 15-minute halts anymore. These are longer halts. I believe.
And then another thing too, what makes you think that Robinhood won't do the same thing that they did in January?
If they fucked you once hard, they're gonna fuck you again hard. I mean, Robinhood was the only like broker, if you want to call them that stopped the buy button. There were actually a shit ton that did so. Actually, I made this. I like, oh yeah, and I've been working on this timeline of GameStop versus just basically an event timeline. And let me say, who halted it? Hold on a second.
I think they were halted all across the board, honestly.
Robinhood prohibits searching for GameStop. Robinhood, M1 Finance, Webull, Bank of America's, Merrill Edge, eToro, Trade Zero, E-Trade, and Trading 212 prohibit buying of GameStop. Interactive Brokers prohibited it. So yeah, I mean, it's not just Robinhood that stopped it. I mean, there are a bunch of other ones that did as well. And so, I mean, even though if those brokers fucked you once in the beginning, they're going to fuck you again later because you're not the customer. Know. Yeah, they're not interested in keeping you happy.
And John said, I heard there can be halts for days during the MOAS. Any validity to that?
Yeah, Brandon's saying they did it for 8 days in 08 for some stocks.
My guesstimation, honestly, if you are invested in AMC or GME, and you better sell that motherfucker pre-market. You better sell that bitch pre-market because I don't think you can halt during the pre-market.
Well, if they halt it for 2 days, that would halt all trading pre-market and aftermarket.
I'm talking about that first. I'm talking about that first motherfucking day that bitch shoot up crazy. You better sell that motherfucker pre-market because it's gonna be some funny shit happening.
I think most of the time, most people will have to sell in the pre or aftermarket because it'll be halted. If halts don't apply to aftermarkets, that's when most of the actions has to take place, right? Like if halts go through the day and through the evening or whatever, then you're just gonna have to wait until you can have the ability to sell if it shoots up to a certain price and you want to sell, you know.
Yeah, I was strongly advised selling.
And one thing too I learned with the fun thing was that when they did the halt, okay, and that price dropped to half, it skipped all the stop losses on people and took it down to whatever price it was. So say it jumped up to $19, right? And when it came down, there was some people saying that they had a stop loss for like $18 or whatever. But when it opened back up, it sold for like $9.25, which is what it opened back up after the halt. So they have not the halts, I believe, fuck the stop losses. They skip the stop losses from what I understand when they do that too. So that's another thing you have to look out for. I believe that's what I saw happen during fun. I may be a little mistaken on that. Maybe that's some information, but I saw a lot of that going on in the chat on Weibo of like, what the fuck? I had my stop loss for $16 and it sold for $9.25 or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of dirty pool. And people say, who has stop loss? Well, once this starts going up, I think people will start enacting stop losses just in case at some point. Some people will, and they'll go stop loss hunting, and they'll do that, and that's what fucked fun over, and that's what fucked DAWAC over, and probably that's what fucked GameStop over in January from really taking off. I mean, it took off to a huge degree, but I mean, like if the malls had a chance to happen at that moment right there, that it had a chance to happen in January when it initially happened, right? Is that not correct? I mean, if the price would have kept going up, the malls would have just happened right then.
Yeah, possible. Yeah.
Yep.
GME probably would have been $1,000 a share.
So
yeah, I mean, one of the hedge funds went on like some like fancy news television thingy and basically said how GameStop would have been in the like thousands if they didn't stop it. I mean,
yeah. And so what they do is they halt it and they drop that price and they go stop loss hunting, because people, when it starts going up to a certain degree, I think a lot of people will get nervous and go, hey, I don't want to, it's up this high. I want it to go, I don't want it to go this below this level. I want to make money off of this no matter what. Right. So when they see a lot of stop losses go on, that's when they're going to halt. And that's when you're going to drop the price. You know what I mean? Like that's how the game plan is going to work. So this is the stuff we need to look out for. You know?
Yeah, it's a good time to remind people to remove their stop loss. I mean, there could also be a weird glitch in the system, or whatever you want to call it, where you don't get necessarily what your stop loss is at. I mean, it could be like, oh, well, they're going to try to go fishing or hunting for the super low like stop losses, and so I mean, there's a chance that even if there's no halt, that you could get something that's only pennies on the dollar. Because like you should remove all stop losses. So I mean, that's fucking some like noob tube right there.
Because we're playing against dirty pooled guys. They're going to try every trick in the book if this goes off to make this not happen, and that's one of the tricks that they pulled with Fun and DWAC and with GameStop. I'm sure it happened too, where they halted and it dropped the price some, and people lost out. People lost out money. It could be, $100 it drops. It could be $1,000 it drops. It could be any number at whatever given point. It could be $50. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what it is in the end, but they're going to look for those. They're going to try to skip what your actual stop loss is at and sell it at a lower price by doing the halt and saying, okay, you had your stop loss at 18.20, but it technically never hit this price because it was in a halt and it opened back up at 9.15 or whatever. So you're getting the 9.15 price because that's the only price we have on the market. We don't have that 18.50 price in the market. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't exist. It just skipped right over it. It never hit that. It just went from $19 to $9 and fuck all the numbers in between.
Big Bot in the building. What's going on, Big Dog?
Yeah. That's right.
I'm a little nervous about the halts myself.
Yeah, it's some real shit because a lot of people are gonna do that. I mean, you just can't. It's human nature. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are not as educated about this. 4 million people say in AMC. To believe that every one of us is educated in this to some degree is a little far-fetched. I think a good degree of us are, but there are people that just say, hey, buy AMC, it's going to go up. They buy, they're going to see it go up, and they're going to act accordingly to how a normal person would act in that given situation. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody is doing all their DD on this stuff. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is probably a good time to tell people to like define what their exit strategy is. I mean, It's super easy to enter. You just buy and hold, but like the exit strategy.
Well, it's hard to do that because then you have to put a number on it. You know what I mean? People don't want to put a number on it.
That's the good shit, though. Nobody never talks about that. I'm glad she said that, though. Nobody ever talks about the exit strategy.
I mean, there are some pieces of advice is like, it's better to sell, like, I'd rather sell 80% on the way down than 20% on the way up. I mean, because you don't know how far it's going to go up, but the fact that it's going to go back down. It's kind of like.
But how you know? But how you know you sell it on the way down? Because sometimes they pull back then shoot up. Like, on the way up, it ain't all the way up all the time. They pull back then shoot up, pull back then shoot up. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of hard.
It's all a gut feeling in the end, really.
I mean, no one really fucking knows. That's why, on top of it, you should never sell all your shares in one sitting. Always, I mean, there's been pieces of advice that I personally also follow is that you shouldn't sell more than 50% of your shares, so that if you're wrong, you can live to see another day.
I think that's good advice to give people. You know what I mean? Like, I think breaking it all, I mean, it's going to create, I believe, with so many, say for AMC, if it does go up, right? There's so many people invested, it's going to create a cushion of like, to get everybody to sell off at once is almost impossible. You understand what I'm saying? Like 4 million people. So it's going to have different points of like, some people are going to sell so much, and it's going to drop down, it's going to jump back up. And then more people are going to sell, and it's going to drop down, it's going to jump back up a little bit. I think that's kind of the action we're going to see. But really, it comes down to a gut feeling. Whatever your gut feeling of what the price is going to be at, and you put the target in your head, then once it hits that price, that's the time you should really probably, and I'm not trying to like tell people it could go up higher than what your target price is. That's a chance you're taking too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, everybody has a different target. And I don't even know what mine is at this point. I mean, I don't hold a lot of shares, so I want to see it go up as high as it can. You know what I mean? So I'm probably holding for the downside a little bit because I don't have enough shares to like break off and sell too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the way I've developed my personal exit strategy is like I don't even account for the number of. I'm not even looking at share price. I only count it out like this. This is the number of shares I'm going to sell on this day, and that's it. But someone actually brought up a good point: is that you're never going to sell on the. You're no one. Okay, none of these motherfuckers here are going to sell at the top. I can fucking guarantee you that.
Somebody might. It's going to be like. Out of 100% traders, maybe 2 or 3% might get lucky and hit.
Oh, not even that one. It's going to be like point. No, it's going to be point. It's going to be small. To get the two top, it's going to be like 0.01% is going to hit the two top of that. You know what I mean? Like
600, like there are about 600 to 700,000 members of Super Stonk, but there's only been recorded about 1 or 2 people that actually bought at the top of 483. So just put that into reference, like. Only 2 people bought out of like more than 500,000. You're not going to fucking sell at the top. Don't be an arrogant asshole.
What's that? Say that again. Sorry.
Another question: Do you think the drop will be real fast, like real violent? You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna inch its way to the top how it's going, but when it drop, will it be like a real crazy drop, or is it gonna drop slowly?
I don't know.
Based on the history, based on how I did last year or early this year, that motherfucker dropped fast. Because GME went up to like what $500, and then the damn thing went down to like what $100 or something, $150 or something like that. And then it went back up. It kind of did a V shape almost with GameStop. And
sorry, please continue.
Yeah, it seems to me that it might go down fast, believe it or not, in my opinion. It might run up and it's gonna tank because they gotta do something to offset what the fuck is going on. Because they already know that it's coming. Because last time they were caught unexpected with GameStop running up as high as it did. Nobody expected it. Now they are. So I think
but it's also run up a couple times since then too. It's not. It was at 400 a couple different times this year already too.
Yeah, but it never ran to the point where Robinhood and TD Ameritrade and E-Trade and all those other places were basically saying you can't buy it, but you can sell it. I don't think there was ever a time after that big run. I'm not sure. But I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's not since the January run. They haven't taken away the buy button or any of that shit.
Yeah, they haven't taken away the buy button. So they haven't been in a situation where they had to basically, shut the whole game down. I don't think they were in a situation like that. But if that happens again, I think they're going to be more prepared for that. And so I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a lot of halts with that shit.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
There's going to be a lot of halts.
I think it's going to be a week-long event because of the halts. Just because of the halts, because they're going to halt it. It's going to be halted most of the time that the market is open. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it's going to, because the jumps in percentage. This could go on for 2 weeks. This could go on for 3 weeks. I don't want to say it will because it could happen in 5 minutes and be over with. But with the amount of halts and the amount of people involved in either of these stocks, the chances of it like it's going to take sharp, violent drops when the halts reopen. But then it's going to shoot back up again a couple times at least. You know what I mean? Like so, I think that's what's going to happen at least.
I mean, who really knows what the fuck's going to happen? Because also you have to incorporate, like, people are going to be buying and selling in and out of it. And there's too much shit that could happen to actually be able to, like, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen. Like, nah, like people are emotional. Who fucking like that one dude like who bet against like South Africa or something like that? He plays bets against South Africa, and then like the Suez Canal got closed. I mean, that was like. But someone brought up a good point is that something about like Charles Schwab makes you call. So I mean, previously in this year there was like a day or two where the internet just like cut off in like some major cities across the U.S. And this, I mean, that's why not only do you have to know, I mean, Sorry. So, I mean, anything can happen during this time. Like the hedge funds could like find some way to fuck over the internet, and so that's why it might be beneficial to know where your actual brick and mortar broker is, so you can just like walk or I don't know, drive to it in case like shit goes down. Because like that it's happened before, so it can happen again. And then whether I mean, there's like a
oh yeah, there's so much dirty shit that they're gonna do too, and yeah, it's gonna be chaos a little bit, I think, when it happens, and there's gonna be a lot going. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people invested in this, and a lot of people invested against this. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of excited for it. I just want it over with at this point, honestly. I just want it I want it to happen, not just so make money, but just like I want to just see what's gonna happen out of this. You understand? Either way it goes, I want to see what's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah, and so like to reiterate how the importance of preparing yourself for MOAS. I mean, like despite how we're all buying Holden and how like just because like your favorite YouTubers will be like, oh, I'm gonna live stream this shit, like I'm gonna do this and for that, like that. I mean, like I sure as fuck am not gonna be helping anyone because I'm gonna be helping myself during MOAS. I mean, like I'm gonna tell everyone what they should do or what I think they should do, but like that's why you should be like, these are all things you need to figure out yourself, because like it's better to be over prepared than under prepared. But like no one's going to be there to help you because they're all kind of save their own ass. Like the internet may shut off, so you might have.
So you're not going to DM me when you sell. You're not going to give me a heads up.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
I mean, just me personally. I'm not asking you to look out for anybody else. I'm saying, help your boy out, girl. You know.
I mean, if you want me to, like, I already have a few friends that I've been telling them what to do. So yeah, they're like about that, but. So I even told them, like, just give me your account, like username and password. I'll take care of it fucking for you. Because like, but I mean, like anything could happen. I mean, Reddit's been down. I mean, so that's been down a couple of times.
Yeah. Twitter will go down. YouTube will go down. The day this happens, there'll be an internet outage. They'll blame it on everybody jumping on the internet for this shit, right? And then YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all this shit will go down for like a day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why there's been contingency plans. So back in the day, when Reddit like one time got shut down, they're like decided to like the backup plan is go to Gangnam Style. Like
yes, I remember this. Yes. So
yeah,
they hit the comment section on Gangnam Style. If they cut off Reddit, they cut off Twitter. The plan was to go watch the Gangnam Style video and. Communicate in the comments there, but now that plan's been out there for a while, so they're gonna have a counteraction to that. You know what I mean? Like you can't put anything out there without them, you know. But that I found that shit funny.
That is fucking hilarious, and like it all stemmed from believing that the South Koreans were the ants that caused the initial push, and so like we're just gonna have a South Korean song to be like our backup plan or a contingency plan. But yeah, it's all started by the ants from South Korea.
Hey. That's a question right there, I guess.
I rarely hear anybody talk anymore about what happened in March when it dropped 50% in a matter of minutes between halts. That was weeks after I got in and made me shit my pants. Yeah, no, hey, look, I got caught in that fun one, like when it dropped. Like I bought in, I lost like $2,000 on that trade because I went chasing the money because I needed money. But I bought in on one of my accounts at $19 right before the halt came, and then it came back and it was fucking $9, and I lost $2,000 like that.
Wow!
So mad, so fucking mad, and I knew better, but like I needed the money. And if I would have just held, the thing was, I held stuff for months, right? I held Sundial, Green Q, I held Shiba, like all this shit. I said, what's it gonna hurt to sell for 2 or 3 days and then get back into this stuff? Well, what hurt was Fun fucking dropped a bunch of money, and then all the stuff that I invested in went up. So I would have made more money just by holding what I had, and I would have made like $3,000 or $4,000. Instead, I lost $2,000 because I got antsy and I needed money, and I chased the money, and that was my lesson about chasing money.
Yeah. This is why you don't fucking day trade, because shit like this can happen.
Hey, like I said, I needed the money. I made a dumb move, but now I'm in a worse position than I was before. So it's like, well, now I'm just gonna hold it. Wait, now I'm just in AMC, GME. I got a little bit of Sundial. I got a little bit of FAMI, and I'm just holding them till something happens. You know what I mean? Like that's. But the FAMI and Sundial, like I'm hoping I just make a quick couple bucks off of them. I'm not trying to hold them forever. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Sundial, I'm probably gonna run though. I might hold on to Sundial.
Yeah, I know you don't want to talk about it.
Sundial's a fucking.
Oh, I know. Hey, look, Zach Morris. I was so happy when he said he wasn't selling below $2 because say what you will about Zach Morris, he is what he is, but he's usually kind of right about a lot of this stuff. So like, he is what he is. You know, like, I'm not like a big fan of his, but I was very happy when I saw him tweet that. I'm like, oh, please let this run to $2. Just make me a little bit of money to get by with. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it might run past too.
Yeah, Zach, pump up. If you watch this shit, pump up Fammy too. I need some Fammy love. I need that shit to jump to like $2. So it's at like 29 cents right now. Start pumping that shit for me, brother. I need the help. I ain't trying to move stuff around. I ain't got the money like that. So need those two to take off with my short-term gains right now.
Oh man, no, Sundial is like one of the many different. All the weed stocks have been nothing but pump and dumps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but eventually those are going to be like good stocks. You know what I mean? Like if say marijuana legalized nationally, it's like weed stocks all of a sudden become a winner. You know what I mean? I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. And Republicans are actually pushing for weed to be legal now. I saw. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I think that's going to the next election. It might not happen for a couple of years, but within 5 years, I think weed will be nationally legal. Yeah. And so a lot of these weed stocks will end up being a good investment in the long run. But right now they are pumping dumps. I agree with you. Right now in this moment, they are pumping dumps.
I mean, if I were to invest in a drug, it'd probably be like shrooms because like over in like
Fammy is for you. Fammy is mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. I just know that shrooms is gonna type of like I'm all down for microdosing. Yeah.
Yep. So
so it's gonna be the new wave mushrooms. Definitely.
You think so? I'm allergic to mushrooms. I can't do them.
Oh,
I'm allergic.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, I know. I know. I feel like I'm missing out. But
you kind of are, but it's okay. There's other things like LSD or acid, but whatever.
Yeah, I just smoke weed. I'm too old. My brain is already fried enough from all the weed and drinking I did and all the stuff I did back in the day. I never liked anything that took me out of I always got afraid with like acid or whatever. I never did it because I always like to know where I'm at and be in control of my area a little bit, you know, like I don't want to lose control like that. I'm no telling what I'll do. So I'd rather not, you know.
No, you can control the high when you're on shrooms. You can definitely control it. Yeah, no, I just remember anyways, side note, it was like being in college and my friend would be like, if you're tripping too hard, you just gotta say like, I have taken a strong hallucinogenic. This will be over in a matter of time. But anyways, no, that shit's not whatever.
Yeah. I don't want to end up running buck naked down the street though. Like that's what I'm afraid of.
That's fucking some PCP shit up there.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
A gallon of PCP.
You don't know whether they'd be lacing that shit with some stuff. You never know what you're getting with some of these people.
Oh my god, yeah, for sure. Oh.
Yeah, let all the weed convicts out of prison. They can join our movement. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea. Oh man, but I think that there's so many fucking people that are trying to get in the weed that's kind of diluted by now. But I don't know. I haven't paid attention to weed stocks.
Yeah, I think weed and water and technology are like the future. You know what I mean? Like as far as investing goes. That's pretty. I mean, it's pretty broad areas, but like, water is going to become, you know, less and less available. So I think, you know, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
I was saying the same thing. Just think how they got them ships out there. They're gonna be tripping on the water shortage soon. That shit gonna skyrocket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Believe that shit.
Definitely.
That's why it's getting pushed down right now to scare motherfuckers out their position.
Yeah.
That's all this shit is.
Yeah. I think
like that one you were pushing, Marco.
John. Hold on, we got somebody named John. John
in the motherfucking building.
What's up, John?
What's happening?
Hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, not much. Just crushing on pawn.
There
you go.
So, what do you think about what's been going on with everything in the market, bud? What you got for us? John, you there?
I think the float is too much for Sundial to really be.
You going in and out. You might got some bad reception or something.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah. You got to get somewhere, get on Wi-Fi or something. I don't know where you at. You must be in a basement or something.
That ain't me. John in the chat says that ain't me. I ain't John. So I don't know which John this is.
Shit. So we got a troll in here. What you want, some bullshit?
I got a 5G phone, but it's a cheap Samsung.
What's your name, bro? Hello?
What's your name, man?
Hello?
Want me to boot him off, y'all?
Yeah, sorry, we're having
Can't
technical
get no-
difficulties. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah, sorry, man. Try to get back on. Give us your name when you come back on. And if you're gonna come back on, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't mind if you're not gonna put the camera on, but like, I'd prefer if you put the camera on for you personally, you know. But like, I understand.
But if not, if you want to talk, that's cool. As long as you got something to say,
cool.
I don't. Bullshit.
Yeah. Like so. But I mean, I don't know. I'm about ready to wind down anyway, guys. It's almost been 3 hours we've been on for, which is good. I mean, I love talking to you guys, but it's almost midnight here. It's 12:30. I still got to make a call to Alaska tonight for somebody before it gets too late. But you guys can keep going. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, Pawn, for coming on and
check out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna head out as well. It's a good time. It's 3 o'clock. I mean, 3 hours in.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get you back on again in the future and go over some DD. Marco, we'll talk.
Everybody subscribe to the channel. Follow everybody on Twitter.
At the bottom of the screen, follow everybody at the bottom of that screen, y'all. We greatly appreciate
and share it, man.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for showing up on the show. Please, thank you.
Shout out to Kid. Shout out to Bot. Shout out to all our chat crew. Hitman, if you're watching, shout out to you. Kid, keep fighting a good fight, brother. Keep fighting. You're doing good work out there, Kid. Yes, all hail, Kid. You guys, all hail, Kid. Kid, the shill killer. That's what he is. Kid, the shill killer. So, anyways, guys, much love to everybody. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for coming on, Pawn, and thanks again, guys, for hosting for us and being, just being fucking awesome, you guys. So, all right.
All right. Thanks for everybody to sub, man. We appreciate it.
Subbed out. Thanks a lot, y'all. We get back with y'all.
All right.
We out.